It don't matter the color of the skin, either woman or man, just let the case land. It's here, it's in safe hands. This is God work, not a fake plan. Too many kids being found in these lakes, man. This is MTGV, and you with Miss V. She keep her ear to the streets, come to a beat.
Welcome in, everybody. We back.
But all trolls we delete.
And remember the rest of the factors when it identified the defendant in this case.
So, but and just to be clear, you said I saw him walking in. You saw him when you were walking in or when he was walking in?
When I was walking in just now.
Thank you.
And Ms. Butts, where did you know Jarvis to work?
He
Shout out to my BFF.
Shop on Warren and F, called Frank's, and then he moved to a shop on Hopper and Connors. I don't know the name of it.
Okay, so y'all know we've been covering this case since we've been covering this case, and a lot of things I showed in the beginning. I just wanted to go over her testimony again because I noticed I was listening at this the other day and I noticed something that I wasn't paying attention to before. And so we just want to go back over this. I'm going to be stopping it along the way. Most of us have already seen this stuff. So yeah, I'm going to definitely be stopping it along the way. Thank you for being the first in the building, BFF. And thank you for moderating the chat and keeping us safe in here from all these trolls. We got some nice people in here too.
And Ms. Butts, do you remember talking to Detroit police back on February 26th, 2024?
Yes.
And what's the reason that you went and talked to Detroit police?
I had reason to believe that I saw ZIYAH the day she went missing.
Okay, so one thing, so this is another thing that happened. Remember, I was trying to remember what happened on Valentine's Day. So two things happened on Valentine's Day. Now I know why it happened on Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day was the day that they had the press conference, right? So Shannon Jones, the lead investigator, got the case on. She was asked to look into the case on February 12th. February 13th, they went and talked to King, pulled the phone records from the jail and got their phone call and all of that. They was doing a lot of other things in the middle of that. February 14th is when yesterday's live stream that we had of the Annette Harris at that press conference with Tamara Liberty Smith. And also, Shannon was there. So that same day that happened is the day that she got a phone call from Jarvis's other baby mama. And I think she said Angel, but I'm not sure. But one of his baby mamas called her to tell her about an incident that happened. An incident happened on February 14th, is what she said.
Tell me about that.
But now that I'm saying that too, I don't know if it was another incident besides the press conference, because when I first heard it, I was like, well, I wonder what happened on February 14th, because she said she told me about an incident that happened on Valentine's Day. So I don't know. It could have been a past Valentine's Day, but at the same time, that press conference was on Valentine's Day too. So I'm gonna listen for that.
Well, what makes you believe that you saw ZIYAH on the day she went missing?
Where do you want me to start this about?
So, from the very beginning, where is it that you think you saw ZIYAH?
At the shop on Harbor and Connors.
Okay, and whose shop is it?
My brother Jarvis Butts and his partner.
So I do want to remind everybody that she arrived at the shop at 3:16 p.m. and she left at 5:30. By 5:30. She's going to say a different time, but I'm going by, was it 5:30 or 3:45 and 5:16. So she got there at 3:45 according to her phone records, and she left at 5:16. In this video, that's another reason why I wanted to listen. She's going to say that it was already dark when she left. And I had already said that. I'm like, in the winter, in these neck of the woods, it gets dark at about by 5:30 it's dark. And so before 5:30 it's dark. Between 5 and 5:30 it get dark in the winter. Between 7 and 7:30 in the summer.
Okay. What's the
And the reason, for the people that don't know the point I'm making, King said that they didn't leave the shop until 7:30 p.m. that night, and he had to be back by 9 p.m. for his tether. It takes a good 35 minutes to get to Ypsilanti from Detroit, and there's no way they would have made it, because he said they left at 7:30. They got there. It take 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes to get there. They had to wait for the sister to go to the ATM, which that ain't even come up no more. She didn't say that she had to go to the ATM in her testimony, and he said that they were there for an hour. It would take 40, 35 minutes to get back. You're not going to make it before 9, and that's why I said they left that shop before 7:30, and there's no telling where they could have put ZIYAH at. Another thing, all this time they sitting up there, remember, this is another thing that I want to know. What time did Shannon call? What time did she call? Remember in court, they asked her. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. Because in court, they asked Shannon about, did you talk to Jarvis about ZIYAH being missing? What was their conversation? Let's listen.
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about not being able to locate ZIYAH on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him, he didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, have he seen Tuda, any whereabouts? And I said no Tuda, and he responded back, oh wow.
I didn't hear what you said, the last part.
Last part, I texted him. Well, at first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time, I sent him a message. Still no Tuda. He replied back, oh, wow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And notice they didn't ask her what time. I was wondering, what time did you call him? What time did he say that? But that's part of evidence. That is most definitely part of the evidence, because my thing is, she was sitting up at that shop. I've showed videos of the shop, the store, all of that. So this is the shop area. Well, no, that's the area that they picked her up from, actually. But this is the shop area. Now, if she was sitting there, she would have been sitting right, and that, y'all see that kid? It was a kid standing there right under the garage, but you cannot see their face. I've noticed that when I was riding down the street. Look, see where I zoom in? Right there, it's a kid, and it's a man standing next to that kid. And so anyway, this is the area that she would have been sitting in. This is the area that she's talking about. And when you look at the shop, this is the travel in, which they call the trafficking in. That's what I want to say Mark and Roxy them is where that term came from. So this was me driving around trying to see what was what. Is off the highway. I didn't go up in there, but you could see the dumpsters and stuff right there from it. But like I said, this dude do everything for convenience. Everything that he do, he meet all of his women at the shop. He do everything around and about that shop. And King has to live close to the shop too. Well, that's when we was going by the old time. I don't know. The times are off. We definitely know that. But where she seen ZIYAH at was in this attached store, which if you go in my playlist, you will see all this information in there I talked about probably a month ago when I first started looking at this. And so I didn't understand how she missed ZIYAH, because ZIYAH, this is a small store. This is the attachment that they're now using as a storeroom. So when you walk into the store, you see all of the stuff off to the left. All of the at the way that once you go to the back of the store, to the left, you're going to see that door. To the right is another door that will be right here. That has to be the bathroom. That's also the way that you get behind the counter. And so that, yeah, I assume that when Nazaya, she said she walked in the store behind her. So how do you miss seeing her? She didn't turn around. Nazaya never turned around in this small store. It just don't make no sense. It doesn't. But Nazaya was getting in and out of that car to go to the bathroom. That's the only explanation. Because that's what she's about to tell us. She was getting in and out of that car. In and out of the car. Had Annette, Shannon, any of her loved ones, had they just went up there. Now she calling Jarvis, but you didn't ask, he didn't say, she didn't say nothing like, is she there with you? Did you pick her up? Allegedly. But we know they had that conversation because in Jarvis's interrogation, he said that. He said it. I might even pull that up. I don't know.
Reason you were at your brother's shop that day?
Something was wrong with the car that I was driving, and I just needed him to check it out to make sure it was safe for me to drive.
Okay. Do you recall about what time did you go to Jarvis's shop that day?
About 4 p.m., give or take a few minutes.
Oh, and that's another thing. Jarvis did not fix her car. Jarvis just looked at her car. So she was there during this testimony. They're gonna be asking her about they're gonna be asking her some stuff, and she said, you keep saying fix my car. He looked at my car. So he didn't fix her car. He just looked at it to see what was going wrong. Was it safe for her to drive? So she was up there for a long time just sitting. And she said she didn't notice Nazaya until the the lights in the car kept going off and on. She seen her getting in and out of the car. But we'll listen.
Okay. And around what time did you leave?
Somewhere between 6 and 6:30.
Okay.
So she said 4, she got there, give or take, left around 6:30, but her phone record showed it was 3:16. So she would have got. Now let's think about this. Nazaya don't get out of school until 3 o'clock. They already done picked Nazaya up and back at the shop by the time she pull up. Because everything is done closely. Like King said something about he seen her when they was going down Harper. I already said that there was, I got a video of a guy driving down the street who said that is they wouldn't have ran into her going down Harper.
Did you tell Jarvis?
He said that it would have been Gratiot or something, and that's on the other side of town or something. So they was lying. This is the video right here. I think this is Otter Drive that he's driving down. I'm not sure, but whatever this street is off of Balfour. And she got picked up from that corner of Balfour and Otter Drive. They picked her up from here. Ain't no way she walked nowhere. She did not walk that far. And so you see right here, it says Balfour. This is the street they was going down. This is the street they picked her up from. And then also, I got a map of it too. If I didn't take it out, I think I still got it in here. So you see right here in Balfour Drive, and the time distance from Cornwall and 3 Mile and Otter Drive East and Balfour is a 3-minute drive, but it is a 15-minute walk. So that walk she definitely could have took. And you see the route there in blue. You see the destination. They picked her up at that corner. The same corner that Shannon picked Jarvis up from. Remember they asked Shannon, do you, any significance to this area? Only thing I know is I pick up Jarvis from the corner. Like, yeah. So and like I said yesterday, she very well could have said that to set up the other female. I mean, because people feel like she's the mastermind and all of this stuff. And shout out to V314 for calling in. Yeah, shout out to Joe in the building. I don't know what I said, BFF. Welcome in, Joe. How you feeling today? And so, you right. I thought the same thing. How she didn't see Naziah face in the small store. Exactly. I said, I'm like, how could she not see her walking in? She would have had to turn around at some point. You know, if you walking in there behind her, or well, she said she was walking in there behind her. So let's pull that back up again. But yeah, as far as this right here, this where they picked her up at. That's why I believe that came up. That's why she asked Shannon, or allegedly. So now what I'm thinking is that she didn't even ask Shannon. Shake the trees, Tracy. Shake the trees. Rooks is hiding again. Welcome in, y'all. Shout out to T Beezy. Thank you for dropping them good members emojis on them. Shout out to all my sleuths in the building. So when I tell y'all, man, I think, and I said it yesterday, I was like, maybe Shannon threw in the other woman as a monkey wrench. Maybe her and Jarvis plotted together to make it look like Latricia had something to do with it. Oh, go pick up her car, take her car. I'ma say that Naziah asked me about Otter Drive in Balfour. Go get her car from there and do all, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they could have set it up like that. Maybe Latricia Johnson was just she was in the dark when he was calling the phone, and she talking about they can't know of me, or what they know of me. You know what I'm saying? All that suspicious conversation and all that. I know that I don't think that Shannon and Latricia is working together. So it would have to be her and Jarvis working together to make it seem like that. And then Jarvis calls her on the phone and tell her to prepare herself. And then she's sounding guilty as hell. So, out of stupidity or whatever it is. But is it possible that Jarvis and Shannon plotted together and just put Latricia in it by going to get her vehicle? And then that phone call made her look guilty, but she is not in jail though. I don't know, but one of the things we got to remember is the judge mentioned mental capacity, him messing with people that might have mental issues or whatnot. So maybe she gathered that from that phone call, because ain't no way I'm gonna be on a jail recorded line talking about go wipe down everything in the house, everything that I touch, and I don't cuss you clean the hell out and hang up on you. Boy, don't be putting me in this. I ain't wiping down a damn thing. She was a mouse on that phone. And so it just don't make sense. That's the only thing. And the only reason why I'm thinking like this is because I've been seeing people putting it on Shannon, feeling like Shannon is the mastermind. And then when V3 called in, and she said it too. And so that's the only way that I could look at that. And I mean, it's playing out. Of course, people gonna look at it like, wait a minute. Like, oh girl, that phone call was awkward. It was odd. And it made her look like she was guilty. But could it have been they planned the whole time? Jarvis liked to stash his phones in cars. Maybe he had someone drive that car around so it leads them too close that they planted there while someone else took care of the body. It had to be something organized like that. Because I had said a long time ago, I said, I think Jarvis just put his phone. Because remember, they said his phone was pinging at the Rogue River or whatever for 2 hours. I said, that phone was just sitting there. He was somewhere else. I truly believe that. Shout out to D Wash. Welcome in. How you feeling? Shout out to my member in the building. Y'all join Sleuth Nation. Become a sleuth. Shout out to all of y'all. So Jarvis I definitely said that about his phone. I really do think, but that is a good one right there though. He liked to stash his phone in cars. Maybe he had someone drive that phone around. Man, he could have, because that's a good one. Somebody could have been, it could have been Shannon in a whole nother car driving around with that phone, going to different addresses because it was all around. It was all around town. He was going. And the locations he was going into was neighborhoods that he was familiar with. Like a old girlfriend's house. What was that? Evergreen and all those places like where they found. I had said I believe that he was driving around just dropping her belongings all over the place. Maybe he wasn't doing that. Maybe it was somebody else doing that, and he was somewhere with man, heck yeah. And I said, man, they've been doing something weird with them phones. They had multiple phones, multiple phone numbers. That is a good one, Debo. Or Debo. Look, Debo. But wait, Debo Mont? Am I saying that right? That's pretty cool, though, because Debo, I'm thinking about Debo, and that's pretty sweet. But you agree 100%? Hey, better. Oh, good to see. I wonder, D, I was just thinking about you yesterday because I was looking at my members and I'm like, where D been at? I'm happy that you're doing better. I forgot you told me about that surgery. Yeah, so that is a good one, though. I like that one. Let's keep listening. I don't know how you missed this girl in that story.
And what is it that you noticed while you were at the shop?
So it's a two car, like garage. So I was sitting outside of the shop in my car because they were working on another car on the inside. As I sat there for the time that I was there, I kept seeing a little girl get in and out of his truck, going into the gas station and going back to his car.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there. Whose car are we talking about?
My brother.
Okay, and what kind of car was it?
I believe the Cadillac Escalade.
Okay, do you remember what color?
Kind of like a pearl white, off white cream color.
Okay, and you described this as a two garage shop.
Yes.
Okay, and I want to approach with people's Exhibit 7.
Okay.
Now, Ms. Books, do you recognize what is it we're looking at in People's Exhibit 7?
Yes.
Okay, what is that?
That is the shop.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
And where at were you parked when you saw someone getting in and out of Jarvis' truck?
In front of the car doors of the garage right here. I was parked facing, I don't know what direction it is, but going towards Gratiot. I was like in front, but outside.
Okay, so you were kind of parked parallel with the road?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you?
Okay, let's look at her hand movements again. Yeah, so I mean, she was parked right in front of the door, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying too, y'all. This shop appears to be small because it's just this little small area. When you walk into the gas station, let's just look. Okay, so we got a car wash right here. This is blue. The shop is right here, and then the gas station is right here. So when you walk, it's just this little area right in the front is where they have the cars at. So the back area is where all the spaces at that I would think that they would be hanging out at. And that's why I was saying, like, why didn't anybody at the store see anything or hear anything? We talking about kids in here, right? You could see the door right there and how close everything is. And then when you walk in here, it's little as heck. Bam. So right there is all the stuff. When you go over to the left, that is how you get into the shop. To the right is how you, like I said, you get to the bathroom and the go behind the counter and all that. We know it ain't on this side because this is where the everything is at. So you go back in there, see, you can see where the cars and stuff will be at. So it's just that area where those boxes is at. So that's what it looks like to me. I mean, it could be a dip off somewhere else, but this store is little as heck. And so I don't know if she was getting in and out of the car and you went into the store too, you should have seen her at some point. Especially, she said she had to go to the bathroom. I suspect Naziah was going to the bathroom too, at least one of them times. So where was Naziah at when she was in the store that she couldn't see her? Was she hidden behind something? Was she, yeah, like that's kind of weird to me. Cause once I seen that, I was like, that kind of don't make sense to me.
And apart, parallel with the road.
Oh, let me move that again.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you draw a T where your truck was?
My car?
Yeah, your car was.
Now
Yes.
show us the T. God dang it.
And then put an arrow the way you were facing. And where is it where that Jarvis's truck was? Just put a J where Jarvis's truck was. And what way was his truck facing?
It was facing my direction, so the front was
Towards you. Okay, so put an arrow for that direction.
And show us. I know they ain't.
Okay.
Hold it up. We can't see it. We can't see it. But anyway, she couldn't be too far.
Now,
Hell, she should have seen her.
do you get
Now,
a look at
her
this
doing that right now, the way she shook her head, make me feel like this dude got me caught up in all this BS. If he knew he was gonna do this, why did you even call me up here that day? You know, why? He could have just said, nah, I can't look at your car this day. You got this girl in your car and you know exactly what you planning on doing with her. And you call your sister up there. And now she all caught up in it. And so, like I said before, I had already seen pictures of her. I was surfing the internet a while back. Found these pictures of her and him. It was another picture of her holding his oldest, or Janiyah. I mean to say her name, but holding his firstborn by Shannon. And so it was early on when she was over there. So I don't know if she remained cool with these people or not. But clearly she had some type of rapport with Shannon because she talked to one baby mama and then talked to Shannon. This dude was in all kind of stuff. And of course she knew. Ain't no way she didn't know what type of brother she had. Do I blame her for her brother's actions? No. I don't blame her for her brother's actions, but I do question some of the stuff, as far as her not being able to see Naziah, but she noticed her, which means she was really paying attention to her because she said she noticed that she was tiny and all that kind of stuff and little, but she didn't see her face.
little girl that you see getting in and out of his car?
I saw her as she was walking. I never saw her face.
Did you see any clothing?
I did.
Okay. Did anything about the clothing stick out to you that you remember?
I just remember her having on a colorful jacket.
Okay. And what door, which side do you remember seeing her getting in and out of Jarvis's truck? Or did it change?
I don't really remember.
Okay. That's okay. So you said you mostly remember a jacket, a colorful jacket.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you what's marked as People's Exhibit 2, which is already admitted, and People's Proposed Exhibit 10. You understand my approach?
Yes.
Thank you. Handing you what's marked as People's Exhibits 2 and 10. Okay. Do you recognize anything in those photos?
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Parker in the building. What you say? She said, plus she seen King and told her that was what? Plus she seen King? No, plus she said King told her that was Naziah. So basically, she still didn't know who she saw, correct? So you talking about when she admitted to going to... Wait, did she... In her testimony, I don't remember if she said that she went to the shop to talk to King, but I do remember King mentioning her. So, plus she said King told her that was Naziah. But at the time, okay, so at the time that she went to the shop and Jarvis told her that was King's niece. And so she just allegedly went with that from what I can remember. That she definitely asked him whose niece was it, because she said, yeah, he told me, or she asked her who the little girl was, and he said it was King's niece. Because she said, yeah, he definitely said it was somebody else's niece, because she knew it wasn't her niece, and that's why they was asking her that other stuff. And then I just think what I think is weird is how can King tell her anything when King sat up there on the stand acting like he didn't even know who Naziah was? He acted like he didn't know her name. But we know at the same time Jarvis is saying, oh, they come up here to do work, but you don't know her name. You say y'all picked her up. She get in the car. Hey, King. Hey, Jarvis. Hey, King. We speak. But you don't know her name, though. Make it make sense. It don't. So basically, she didn't know who she saw. Yeah, that's what she's saying. She did not know who this little girl was.
Yes.
Yes.
But you know what? She didn't say that she thought it was a little girl either. Only thing I heard her say was that she was tiny. And she asked him who it was. Oh, such and such niece. But did you know she didn't say that it was a kid, or she knew that it was a kid? Let me see. Let's listen.
Right here, Miss Jack.
And for the record, you're pointing up in channel 1, and you recognize this like pink colorful jacket?
Yes.
Okay. And that's in People's Exhibit 10. Your Honor, I would move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 10 as Exhibit 10. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of the jacket that you saw that day?
Yes.
I move for the proposed People's Exhibit 10.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, it'll be admitted as People's Exhibit 10.
Okay. And in People's 2, is that also where is the what you recognize People's Exhibit 2?
Looks like channel 2 here, maybe.
Okay, facing the back.
Yeah.
Okay. And you recognize the jacket in this photo too, right? Yes.
It's a little blurry, but it looks the same.
Okay. And what about in channel 1 of Exhibit 2?
It'll be this one right here.
Okay, and it's fair to say that's the back of a jacket? It seems to be the back of a jacket? Okay, thank you. And you said that you saw this little girl with this jacket on getting in and out, going into the gas station?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know who this little girl was at the time?
No.
Okay. Is there a time that you ever get out of your car?
Yes.
And what do you do?
I needed to use the restroom, so
See, she needed to use the restroom. So I wonder how many times had Naziah got in and out of the car by the time she had to use the restroom. Because I'm just trying to figure out, did they run into each other at the bathroom door? Because it seemed like they would have if they was both going to the bathroom. Because when you're talking about a gas station, it's usually one stall. They usually keep the door locked, so you got to ask for a key. Or if you're going in there when somebody else is already in there, you got to wait until they come out. So I just wonder about that part.
I asked his partner if I could use the restroom. He told me to go and tell him in the gas station. And as I was walking towards the gas station, she was walking in front of me going into the gas station.
So they was both outside of the gas station at that point. They was both outside. She was outside of the car. She was literally walking behind her before she even opened the door to go in. So they was outside a little bit. You would have thought when she turned a certain way, she would have even been able to see her, or you would have thought that maybe she would have said something to her. So we just looking at this, that part of it, but let's even just look at the first part of what she said. So she parked out there, the car probably where we see this, well, in front of that, obviously, I wasn't focusing in on just that part. But if you walking from that garage, I don't know how you could see the door right there to the store. So it seemed like she could have got a glimpse of her that way too. Because she was around, like Naziah would have been around when her niece was born. Because the picture that I have of her holding a baby, she was under 1, but she wasn't an infant. And Naziah used to be with Shannon all the time. She's probably been in the same room with Naziah years ago. Yeah, I mean, because Naziah was born first.
Okay, so about how far in front of you was she?
I would say maybe where the gentleman in the gray blazer is behind you. Maybe a little bit farther, I'm not really sure about that distance.
From where you are to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I
got estimates.
20, 25 feet?
I would agree with about 20, 25 feet. And you said you never got a chance to see this little girl's face.
No.
Was there anything else about her that you can remember?
I just remember her being kind of small, like outside of just seeing her get in and out of the car. When I was walking towards her, I was like, she's tiny, and I just remembered the coat.
Okay. Tiny, like in what way? Like tiny, skinny, short?
Kind of skinny and short.
Okay. And did you ever ask Jarvis who the little girl was?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
He told me, and I can't remember if it was this exact word, or he said it's my partner's niece, or he said it was King's niece.
Okay, but you knew who he was referring to?
Yes.
Okay. Did you think anything of it at the time?
No.
Okay. And what is it that made you think something? Was there a time where you thought something different?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it that made you think something different?
I received phone call, a video call from one of his kids' mom, and she told me about some things that happened on Valentine's Day, and then she sent me a video of a podcast about my brother.
So she told her about some things that happened on Valentine's Day. The only thing we know is that press conference. But when I first heard that, I thought something else had happened. Hold on.
She told me about some things that happened on.
Did you think anything of it at the time?
No.
Okay. And what is it that made you think something? Was there a time where you thought something different?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it that made you think something different?
I received phone call, a video call from one of his kids' mom, and she told me about some things that happened on Valentine's Day, and then she sent me a video of a podcast about my brother.
So it sounds like she sent her the press conference and the podcast, 7 Mile Radio, to catch her up on what was going on with her brother. That's what I'm just because I don't really believe in coinky dinks. So I do know that happened on the 14th. And let me see what y'all saying. Let's see what Miss Parker's saying. Thank you for the hearts, Miss Parker. Much love to you. You are doing your thing over there. Congratulations on your channel growth. She said, let's talk about it. Shout out to LP. Welcome in. How you doing with your worms over there? Okay, let me go back down. I really like what D Beaumont said about somebody driving around with that phone. I thought that it was parked somewhere. I mean, just thrown, sitting out there. And then I was like, but where would he have put that phone at? You know why it's sitting out there? Will he just be crazy enough to just sit the phone there and then come back to get it? Okay, let's see. Shout out to Baloo's Clues in the building. She said, I love how you break it down. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed doing this part of it. Like, I remember when I did my first breakdown, and it was in 2020 when I first started with the West boys. They were 3 and 4 years old, adopted boys, and we knew that they was lying. That's why I have to put that up, because I keep going back to them, because they never were found. They have never been found. 2 babies, foster children, and they parent, the foster parents was in their 30s, and they had 5 or 6 kids that they shouldn't have had, and they clearly was in it for the money. Babies for benefits. Shout out to the AFC podcast, because he definitely always say that, and it's definitely what's happening. Like, I can remember thinking, if you don't want your child, or first of all, you shouldn't get adopted children if you don't like them. But I'm talking about now parents that do harm to their children, like, and then you have a father or a family member that want the kid, but you would rather keep them. It didn't dawn on me until I started watching him when he is like, yeah, they babies for benefits. They want to keep the baby, so they want to keep those benefits, so they gonna do whatever it takes. They don't have to love it. They don't love the kid, but they want the money, what comes from the kid. And so that is what's going on, man. And it's crazy. Like, no, I ain't gonna let you take my kid because I need that money. Go back and listen. Because first she said, after talking to the baby mama, she called Shannon and asked for the sergeant. Oh, we at that part right now. Then she said, went to the shop to talk to King, and King says, you know that. Okay. Yeah, so we hadn't even got to that part yet. We about to do that in a second. Basic bro code. Deny. It wasn't me. Yeah, they definitely will deny to the end. You could have seen them do it, and they gonna say they didn't. You know that girl you saw was ZIYAH. You think so too? So you feel like she must have seen her back in the day? Then why did she say she called Shannon twice for the sergeant's number? Okay, let's listen. Because the first time I listened at this was in the beginning, but then I listened the other day and I was like, wait a minute. Now that's contradicting what King said when she said it was already dark. When before I left the shop, I said, what? So let's go.
Okay. And what did you do as a result of receiving those things?
Because King said it wasn't dark. I do believe.
I called Shannon and I asked her for Sergeant Jones' phone number.
Okay. And who's the Shannon that you called?
His kid's mom.
Shannon Harris?
Yes.
Okay. Do you...
Let's take it back a little bit here.
And what did you do as a result of receiving those things?
I called Shannon and I asked her for my brother.
Okay. The time when you thought something different?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it that made you think something different?
I received phone call, a video call from one of his kids' mom, and she told me about some things that happened on Valentine's Day, and then she sent me a video of a podcast about my brother.
Okay. And what did you do as a result of receiving those things?
I called Shannon and I asked her for Sergeant Jones' phone number.
Okay. And who's the Shannon that you called?
His kid's mom.
Shannon Harris?
Yes.
Okay. Do you do anything before you go and talk to Sergeant Jones?
Yes.
Okay. What is it that you do?
Okay, so after having a conversation with Shannon Harris and his other kid's mom, I was informed that his partner King, I guess something happened where the
Objection, this is hearsay.
There's not a statement yet, Judge.
So they never did let her finish saying what she was about to say there. Hold on. Then why she say she called Shannon twice for the sergeant's number? I don't know if you got, because the sergeant's number is name is Shannon too. So I don't know if you. I don't think I heard her say that unless she gonna say it after this. I know it's Shannon Jones is the lead investigator and Shannon Harris is the auntie. Shout out to Shank Rock. Welcome in, Shank. Thank you for coming through. So you did an amazing job with the case. Kudos to you. We need more people like you advocating for kids. Thank you so much. You talking about the West case, man? I've cried many tears on that case. Them poor babies, and they still have not been found. I never take my mind off of these cases that really get deep with me. But them bastards is locked up. That's why I gotta I'm gonna talk about it because that was a nobody case. It was 2 bodies, as a matter of fact, and they got them. And so the FOIAs and all of that stuff is available. I mean, I don't know if I think it just recently became available. So we definitely gonna revisit the boys. Let me see. Miss Parker, did I miss the part? So she said, go back and listen because first she said after talking to the baby mama, she called Shannon and asked for the sergeant's number. Then she said she went to the shop to talk to King. Okay, we ain't get to that part yet because they kept. Well, I guess she was trying to talk about that.
Informs.
I'm not sure what she's even about to say.
Okay, just to the extent that it's informed of someone else's statement.
We wanted to know that part. Shoot.
You need to speak up.
If you could stand up
Please.
and make your objection.
Yes, just objecting to the fact that she was informed of something. It appears this might be hearsay. But we'll see.
Yeah. Could you finish what you were saying? I don't know where you're going with this.
I'm trying to remember where I left. Okay, so after talking to Shannon Harris and his other kid's mom, I was informed of some things that had taken place, I think Valentine's Day. So They told me that his
So
partner
objection.
King.
You can't say what somebody
Okay,
told
so
you.
at this point, this is hearsay.
They ain't gonna never see that. That's the first time that she started getting frustrated because she was trying to explain something. They never let her do it because the way that she's saying it. But yeah.
They told me, and the lack of personal knowledge, the things that she was informed of.
Can I finish?
1 second.
What?
What is
She
the
mad.
objection?
I'm sorry.
The witness has to stop talking.
So based on those, do you go and talk to someone else?
Yes.
Okay. Who do you go and talk to?
His partner King
Okay. And where is it that you go and talk to King at?
at the shop on Harbor Encounters.
Okay. And without telling me what King said, kind of describe what was your conversation about?
Well, I went to see what happened and what was going on. During that time, I told him that I had never seen any little girl at my brother's shop besides my nieces, outside of the little girl that I saw getting out of his truck that day.
Okay.
And you told this to who?
King.
Okay.
Who is King again?
His business partner.
So she told King, she went to the shop to tell King she ain't never seen a little girl besides her nieces getting in and out the car. That don't make sense, but maybe it's more to that story.
Okay. And do you know his government name?
I believe it's Cordero or something like that. I just always call him King.
Okay. So you went and told him that you hadn't seen anyone out at the shop besides your nieces and then the one little girl you saw that one day.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ask him about that little girl?
Well, I didn't ask him about it. After I said that to him, he told me.
Objection.
Oh, God dang it. We ain't
So
gonna
just
get
gonna go
to
to the
know.
effect on the listening.
There could be an exception. I don't know what she's saying. So you might as well just stay standing up. Go ahead, say what you're going to say.
After I mentioned to him that I had only saw my nieces and one particular little girl, he then told me that that was ZIYAH that I saw that day and I was there.
So she only seen her niece and a particular little girl, and so that was she has seen ZIYAH up there before then. She just said that she has seen her niece and a particular little girl up there before, and King said that was ZIYAH. Hold on.
He told me that that was ZIYAH that I saw that day and I was there.
That was ZIYAH that I saw. What about the particular little girl that you have been seeing? Did y'all catch that? Like, what? So that's what I'm saying. I didn't catch that the first time. So technically you've seen her before, but she didn't notice that was her because she only seen the back of her. So she said on the stand that she's seen her up there before. That's what she just said, y'all. That's what she just said. But she didn't know that was her because she didn't see the front of her. She didn't see the front of her that day. Whoa. So that's why that's probably why Kiwana was feeling some kind of way. I remember that they did a interview right after this had happened, and Kiwana said that she felt a certain kind of way, but they was happy that she testified. And so, yeah, she just admitted it right there. But Miss Parker was saying go back and listen because she first said after talking to the baby mama, she asked Shannon and asked for the sergeant's number. Then she said she went to the shop to talk to King, and King said, you know that. you know that you saw Naziah. You know that you saw Naziah. Saw was Naziah. Then why did she say she called Shannon twice for the sergeant's number? I think I'm misunderstanding you somewhere. But I don't see her saying nothing now. Exactly. That store was too small. Let's see. Y'all, please hit the thumbs up. Hit those, double tap the screen, the thumbs up, or smack those 3 dots to the right, and I appreciate it. Jarvis' sister showed more emotion and cried more tears for Noziah than her own family. She definitely did, and I noticed that with her. But I noticed another moment here where she gets very emotional when they bring up her grandmother, right? They're gonna ask her, ask her. Remember, the lady kept asking her about, well, how close were y'all? Wasn't that close to Blase? And then she finally brings up, well, did y'all have y'all wasn't so close since your grandmother had passed and some incident had happened with your grandmother passing or something. That's when she started crying. So let me get to that. But yeah, so she just, let's take that back.
I had only saw my nieces and one particular little girl.
See, I had only seen my nieces and one particular little girl. But she didn't notice it was that little girl that she seen that day, is what she's saying.
He then told me that that was Naziah that I saw that day, and I was there.
So then he would have said, he must have been like, yeah, the little girl you seen up here, that was her. That was the same little girl. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
So I would object then, given now that she has testified to that it is hearsay and that it is being introduced for the truth.
So that they threw it in there. She said that's hearsay. But she not, it ain't hearsay that she have seen a particular little girl, but it's hearsay that King said it was Naziah, but it was not hearsay what she said. That she have been up there and seen her niece and another particular little girl up there. Unless the other, because we know the other particular little girl was also Marquita's daughter. So okay, now I'm not sure, but the way that they worded that, it made it seem like it could have been Naziah. Let me see. Wow, right? That's crazy. That would pee me off too. Yeah, so I'm thinking that that's probably. So Shank said that she definitely knew that was Naziah. But see, now we got to think about it, because the way that she said that with the conversation with her and King. See, when I first seen her testimony and I noticed the emotions and all that, the first thing I thought about was, man, she was disgusted with her brother for getting her involved in this by having her even come up there. Then she was disgusted with her brother's behavior and that he dragged her in there. And I thought her guilt was coming from the fact that she had to testify against her brother. I wasn't thinking about no guilt like that she seen him. But after seeing this picture and going back over this, so let me put this thumbnail back up, because when you look at this, they were close. They're brother and sister. But the one that I actually want to show y'all, I didn't put it in here, but it's one of her holding the little girl, his Shannon's oldest daughter. And so she was in their house. And I know that Naziah was always with Shannon. Prior to Shannon moving in her mother's house, October 2023, Naziah was already pregnant. Okay. So she would have got pregnant somewhere in September if we want to go by his text messages. The text messages. If we want to go by the June, we could say 4 to 7. Initially, I was feeling like she was between 4 or 5 months because I was only going by the September. So September 2023, she missed her menstrual. Shannon didn't move in with her mother until she moved in October, the month after, in 2023. So everything that was Naziah was going through was happening at Shannon's house up until October of 2023 when they moved into her mother's house. So is it possible that her mother didn't know that all that was going on? But the mother knew that he was what's her name? She had to know that. And the mother had to know that he was too damn old to even talk to Shannon. But we all grown now. But yeah, so it just makes me wonder. I mean, I already thought about that. Like, how the heck Shannon just moved in October, and by January, Naziah is already gone? Wow. Okay, so let me uncut. Let me see what y'all saying. Okay, so I think I concur. Emphatically, that's definitely not what's going on. You did I read that one. Okay. Jarvis' sister showed more emotion. Definitely did. Like, she was super emotional, but I think she was mad. Once she started crying, she was crying about that woman pissed her off talking about her deceased grandmother and bringing up whatever happened between her and her brother. That's when she really broke down. And then I wondered what happened. Because she said, yeah, her and Jarvis fell out about her grandmother passing. And that woman threw that up there at her and made her cry. And I don't think it was necessary for her to do that, but maybe she did that because she was trying to show that they wasn't such cool family members. They wasn't all that tight. I don't know, but.
And Judge, I would say that it's actually a statement of identification.
This is not an identification that she personally made. She's just being told.
When she saw Naziah that day, so it's.
She didn't know who it was. I mean, she had no idea who this was. That's not her identification.
So it is hearsay.
Okay. So.
See, so him saying that was Naziah, they taking that out. I'm gonna let it play for a minute without talking.
Who it was. I mean, she had no idea who this was. That's not. This is not an identification that she personally made. She's just being told.
When she saw Naziah that day, so it's.
She didn't know who it was. I mean, she had no idea who this was. That's not her identification.
So it is hearsay.
Okay. So, without saying what King said, were you informed of anything about a little girl that you saw on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And to your knowledge, Jarvis had told you that was King's niece?
Yes.
Okay. And when you talked to King, did you have reason to not believe what Jarvis told you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you
wait a minute? So
your niece is from Jarvis?
So after she talked to King, they said, "Did you have a reason to not believe Jarvis?" So I wonder what did they have to talk about. She didn't believe her brother after talking to King. She got clarity after King.
That is a poorly worded question. I am sorry. If that was your niece, would you have recognized her that day?
Yes.
Okay. And you did not recognize this little girl as your niece, did you?
No.
Okay. what is it that you did after speaking with King that day?
I called Shannon Harris and I asked her for Sergeant Jones' phone number.
Okay. And did you eventually talk to Sergeant Jones?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. What day was it that you went to the shop and saw the little girl?
Can I ask you a question? I didn't remember the exact day at that time.
Okay. What is it that makes you believe that it was ZIYAH Harris that you saw on that day?
I'm not quite sure how to answer what you're asking me. Like,
That may be a poorly worded question. I'm sorry. Can I just have 1 second, George?
Yes.
Ms. Butts, did you come to learn of the day that you had gone to Jarvis's shop by going through the locations on your phone?
yes,
Okay. And that's the date that you don't remember off the top of your head right now, but it is revealed in your phone locations?
yes.
Let's see here. One second. Let me get her on there.
So I was showing these pictures to show like the distance that she may have walked from the where she was parked to the store door. So that's the store door. Let's go do this first. She would have been parked right here. And you could see the store door just right there, but I couldn't get it all in one shot. That's the kid that was standing there when I went there. Oh, she's starting to cry right now. So she got emotional before the grandmother.
When is it that you went through your phone locations to determine the date? I'm sorry, do you need a moment?
I believe February, I think the 24th or the 26th. I can't remember the exact date.
Okay, that's when you would have went through your phone to find those?
Yes,
Okay, and did you also go through that in your interview with Sergeant Jones?
yes,
Okay. And did you give Sergeant Jones permission to look at your location data?
yes,
Okay. And your phone kind of extraction in general? Like to go through your phone for the data?
yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, let's say what if she's feeling guilt because she didn't notice that it was her, and then now she feeling bad because she should have known, and she knew that it was a little girl and she knew her brother's record. Maybe she's feeling guilty about that. You know, I don't know if I want to say that I'm definitely not going to say that she had nothing to do with it, because she called, just because I ain't going to do that. I'm going to say the ones in the household had everything to do with it, but her I'm not gonna say that, but maybe that's where the guilt is coming from. Like, I should have questioned it. I should have pushed more. I should have, said something. You know, maybe she didn't know, but maybe she feel like she should have pried a little bit more to find out.
Nothing else, Judge.
Cause if you know her brother, then you know he shouldn't have been around no children, and so
go to the shop.
I do want to say that she has already admitted. Okay, this her brother, so he was locked up 8 to 10 years. There's no way your brother gonna be gone that long and you not know what he's in jail for. Especially when this stuff is happening to family members, because he was in jail. I do believe it was a family member, so she would have known that. She would have known that it shouldn't have been no kids around him. She would have known that. Not even his own should have been around him. He ain't even supposed to be near no school bus, nothing. Like, he don't even need to be near humans. Then she see a kid getting in and out of his car. It's nighttime. It don't make sense. What is she there for? And she didn't do enough. It could be a major guilt. But I will say this. Had she called, they wasn't gonna do a damn thing, because they didn't do nothing in 2022 when he did get told on, when they interviewed him and the kids and all of that. So I just want to go back to that, because they wasn't gonna do a damn thing. As a matter of fact, it was said that they seen him at the house before and told him to leave. They didn't even arrest him. He didn't get in don't sound like he got into any type of trouble for not registering. They ain't even know where he was at, according to earlier reports and stuff. So had she called and said, "Hey, this dude, he got a girl up here," I've watched shows that and them same shows they getting rid of on YouTube, where they actually go after people like this live, and the police wouldn't even show up. Like those shows where they act like they're a kid and they lure the person there and then they call the police and all that. They actually just banned all them channels from YouTube pretty much. And then I seen a show of some cops doing the same thing. I said, well, I be damned. Now that's a little off topic, but my other channel, I talk about YouTube. So, but yeah, she definitely is guilty of knowing the type of brother that she had. And maybe, not mentioning nothing, but like I said, they don't. It's almost like, if you want to get away with a crime, do something like this. It seems like they get more chances than anybody, because all the chances that he's been given, Jarvis should have never been given he should have never been given a pass on his court hearing his court date on January 9th that he had, y'all. I got a short, because he said this in his interrogation video, that his original court date was November 20th, the day before his birthday, is when he was really supposed to go to court for what happened. Let me see if I could find it. But so, if I remember correctly, he said something like November 20th was his original court date. They continued it until, I think, was it February? No, they continued it to January 9th. And then on the 9th, he asked for another continuance. And they didn't see him again to February, but it was actually 4. So I'm missing something. I'm going to see if I can find that part. It's going to drive me crazy if I can't. But maybe I can let this play while I look for it. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this play.
brother works periodically, right?
From time to time, yes.
You've been there prior to the day we've been talking about today?
Yes.
A couple times at least?
Yes.
And you'd been back there after?
Yes.
But the day we've been talking about, that's the only time you ever saw a child there?
That was the only time I saw a child I didn't recognize.
Okay, so you had seen other children there before?
Yes.
Okay. When you say that you recognize, these are who exactly?
My nieces.
Okay, now she just said before that though, y'all, because we played, she said that she has seen her niece there and a particular other little girl. But she just said it wasn't one I didn't recognize. So that other little girl was Shannon's daughter. If we are to go by what she just saying right here, unless she lying, she said, I've never seen any other kids there besides kids she knew, his kids basically. But then I've seen a particular little girl there. But then she said that about King saying that was ZIYAH, so that was a throw off. But now she's saying that she ain't never seen no kids there that she didn't recognize. So she should have she definitely would have recognized her niece or her own should. And Marquita's daughter maybe. But then again, I don't know. Like, unless this is a lie right here and that she just got caught in. So, but it was two different answers is what I'm pointing out.
And when you first arrived at the shop that day, Jarvis told you that he wasn't going to be able to work on your car?
No.
No? Did you ask him if he'd be able to?
Judge, I think this calls for hearsay. They can't admit statements of the defendant.
I'm looking more so for her own statement, actually.
For her
Let's
what?
start with her own statement.
Okay.
Did you ask him right away if he would be able to work on your car?
I talked to him prior to coming to the shop.
Before you arrived, you asked if he could work on your car that day?
I asked him to look at my car that day.
Okay. Did you arrive at the shop with the understanding that he would or would not be able to?
I arrived at the shop knowing that he was going to look at my car.
Okay. One moment.
Notice she said look at her car and not work on her car.
And was that via text or call or some other way?
Probably a video call.
Okay, so a video call a little bit before you headed over?
Earlier in the day, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what time.
Okay, so that's how you decided that you'd go over later.
He told me I could come.
Judge, this is kind of all calling for hearsay in a backdoor way.
The response is hearsay. Not
Yes.
that you necessarily asked for it, but it's hearsay.
Sure, we can keep it as her own. So to be clear, we don't need to talk about what he said to you, but you did a video call to him. And in that call, you asked if he could work on your car.
You
Right.
keep saying work on my car. I said look at my car.
Okay, look at your car, but you asked him personally in a video call.
Yes.
Okay, and that was maybe that morning.
I don't remember what time of day it was, but it was before I went to him.
Okay.
She pissing her off. Okay, so she wasn't going to get her car fixed. So with that being said, as soon as they got done with the Jaguar, they had plenty of time to leave before 7:30. Let me ask you this. The other thing about the Jaguar that tripped me out was finding out that Jaguar had been there for 4 days prior to them even working on it. So I was trying to figure out, why did they wait to the day of, if it been there for 4 days, to get the water pump, drive around, do all this, that, and the third, have cars sitting up there waiting on them, and both of them in a car going to AutoZone where they allegedly ran into ZIYAH, which is a lie. I don't believe that they wouldn't have had a reason to stay up there until 7:30. Remember in King's testimony, he said they left at 7:30. She said that Jarvis couldn't look at her car until he got done with the other cars that were there, because she said, I don't pay my brother to fix on my car. So I just pretty much gotta wait until he done. So that would mean that they was done with the Jaguar by the time they looked at her car. She left at 5:16. They didn't have a reason to stay to 7:30. They left before 7:30, but King's testimony, he says 7:30, and that's why the time frame don't line up for King to get back for his tether. But if they left at 5:30, that's 2 more hours from what King originally said. So this is why I'm saying the times ain't timing and everything is not lining up. So here is where the auntie who mom's Jaguar they had, King's son's auntie.
Parky, when did you have the car towed down to his shop?
If y'all missed it.
Parky, when did you have the car towed down to his shop?
I think we had it towed maybe like the 4th or the 5th.
So it was there from the 4th.
Wait a minute, that was the other part. The 4th, that part. I forgot about that, y'all. Now, that car had been sitting there from the 4th or the 5th. Why did they pick that day to actually do the car? Why do we think they picked that day to actually work on that car? That car had been there for days. On the 9th, the days.
Down to his shop. You have the car towed down to his shop.
I think we had it towed maybe like the 4th or the 5th.
Okay, so there that is, and then here's Jarvis. So if y'all don't know, y'all, I take out little clips of things that I'm looking at, things that we might have missed in a big video, right? So if you go to my shorts, you will see all kind of stuff like this. I have a shorts playlist, and I also have a playlist of the live streams and videos. Whatever type of content you like, I got you. So shorts, videos, and live streams, and it's all put together. So y'all can check this out. And then because literally if you go on my shorts, just click on a short and then just scroll and it'll show you all of them. It's a lot of information. So let me find that other one that I was listening for, and I just had it right next to the other one and I lost it again. But we gonna find it. I don't want to pause it either. We gonna find it. Okay, here it is. The Jaguar was told there days prior, and then yeah, shout out to everybody here. Thank y'all so much for being here. Please smack that thumbs up. Oh, this is the one I was looking for yesterday. Okay, we about to play this. How many? Okay, so this one is right here. This is Jarvis Butts admitting to Shannon that ZIYAH texted him that day and that they were supposed to meet up. So for the people that don't know that Jarvis is already telling, he did it right here in this video.
53 seconds.
She knew that she was supposed to come to me. Did you feel Little Mother or anybody that she had just listen? I told my child.
Seconds.
She knew that she was supposed to come to me. Did you feel?
Y'all heard that?
53 seconds.
She knew that she was supposed to come to me.
She knew that she was supposed to be coming to meet me.
Did you feel Little Mother or anybody that she had just listen? I told my child's mother that that she had texted me that day. Yes, to meet you.
I told my child's mother that she had texted me. He said that day. He said yes. I'm just saying. This dude been told on himself.
Yeah, no. She had texted me and I asked what number was this. She was like, I don't know.
See how he tried to change it? Now I'm going to just let it play.
She said,
just let it play. Hold on.
She didn't know what number that was.
This idiot. No, she said that she didn't know what number this was. I called her and asked her what number was this she was calling me from. She ain't know. We ain't hear none of that. We're in Shannon testimony, did we? Let's go.
53 seconds.
She knew that she was supposed to come to me. Did you feel Little Mother or anybody that she had just listen? I told my child's mother that that she had texted me that day. Yes, to meet you. Yeah, no. She had texted me and I asked what number was this. She was like, I don't know. I gave her the number. She said she didn't know what number that was. So you see that y'all had correspondence the day before on the 8th?
Yeah, from the same number. What does it say?
Yeah. So
It say, what are you doing?
all right, that's you.
That was me saying what I'm doing?
Yeah, she's saying that she actually you was at work and you responded what you doing.
53 seconds.
Y'all hear that? This man is cooked. You hear me? So when was that? They literally played. Okay, so the audio was so freaking bad in court that you could not hear anything. I got a clear audio. I'm about to drop this clear audio video because I want everybody to see it, because a lot of people didn't see this video, y'all. This is the clear audio that I got. Well, 26K people have seen it on my channel so far, but a lot of people haven't seen this. So I'm going to drop it so y'all could go watch this after I end this live stream. In this video, it's a lot of information. The reason why you missed it is because the audio was horrible. But I was able to make this one better and make it louder and clear so we could hear it. Dang, why this one ain't? Is this where we at here? Hold on. I'm not finding my own live stream, but I see it. Let me let this play while I'm doing this stuff. Oh, when was that? Okay, Balloons, let me see. Whether they left at 5:30 or 7:30, the sun, yep, would have been down. Exactly. But King said it was still light outside. King said it was still light outside. Like, dude, no, it wasn't. It was dark before you left. And then she said it was dark. It was already dark when they asked her the question. Please smack that thumbs up, y'all. I think they were waiting for parts for the Jag. Nah, he said they ordered the parts for the Jag. He ordered the parts and he went and picked them up. He said I ordered the parts and we went and picked them up. So to me, that sounds like they ordered them and picked them up all on the same day. But my question was, if the car was already there since the 4th or the 5th and we on the 9th, why did you wait? Why did you wait? So that's what came out of his mouth. I'm like, what? Yeah, I mean, listen real close. You can tell these people tell on themselves, and they've been doing it. Hold on. Oh, let me let this play.
Okay. And as you were saying, this day, I think you said you saw some other children there at other times, but this particular child, you only ever saw this child on this particular day.
Yes.
And
Hold on. Now I'm gonna let her finish because now she's switching it up right here. Cause hold on, y'all see what I thought about the other particular child could have been Marquita's daughter, but now is she saying that particular child is
this particular child, you only ever saw this child on this.
Let's go back.
That morning.
I don't remember what time of day it was, but it was before I went to him.
Okay, thank you. Okay. And as you were saying, this day, I think you said you saw some other children there at other times, but this particular child, you only ever saw this child on this particular day.
Yes.
And the whole time you were there from your
Okay, she said this particular child, you only seen her that day. Okay.
Testimony, and from that police interview, you said that you never saw her face.
Yes.
And then you did also see some news stories about this case.
Yes.
Yeah, in the podcast that you talked about. Right, there were some podcasts.
I had already saw her on the news, but I did not know who she was.
Sure, but that was by seeing those stories, that's how you started to think.
Well, I was sent the podcast after some other things that was told to me. That's when I received the podcast.
So
see, I'm wondering what those other things was. It seemed like it was more than just a press conference. Because we know the press conference happened, but we'll keep going.
Between the day you were at the shop, right? And then until you started to see that news, at first you didn't make this connection that maybe she was anyone in particular.
Not at all.
Okay.
She say not at all too.
And then through seeing that news, those podcasts, that's when you started to think she was.
That's not the reason why I thought that.
No, but that's the timing, or it's not?
I guess you could say that.
That's when you started to, at least when you saw those things, that's when you started to wonder.
I was wondering before I saw the podcast.
Okay. In your police interview that you did, did you tell them that at first when you saw the news, you didn't really make a connection because of not having seen her face?
Yes.
Okay. So that interview was on February 26, 2024, right?
Yes.
And you were having some trouble remembering some of the specific details from January 9th at that point?
Not so much as remembering maybe the order I remembered it in.
Okay. Were there some times, at least though, when you were asked some questions and some details that you had to say, I can't remember some things?
I can't remember now.
Okay. And would you agree that at least
Like,
when
it didn't mean that.
Okay. I
I
was just
probably did. I guess it would be safe to say because I didn't know.
Okay, so you think it's safe to say that at that point in time, there are at least some details you were having a hard time, some questions you couldn't answer.
I can't disagree.
Okay. And it was pretty close in time, shortly before that police interview, that was when you first started to think that maybe this girl you'd seen at the shop had been ZIYAH Harris.
Can you repeat that?
So the first time you started to think that maybe that child, the one you saw, maybe that was ZIYAH Harris, that was pretty close in time to the police interview.
Maybe about a week or so before.
Okay. I believe, does it sound right to you that I think you told the police that it was on the Thursday prior to the interview?
Whatever the Thursday was after Valentine's Day.
Okay. So probably February 22nd. That was the Thursday prior to your interview.
Okay.
And then when you were at the shop, you primarily saw this child while she was inside a truck, right?
I didn't know it was a child in the truck until she kept getting out.
Okay, but
Okay, so she definitely knew that it was a kid. She didn't mistake her for an adult.
when you saw her, she was in a truck?
I saw her getting out the truck, yes.
And were you inside your vehicle?
Yes.
You arrived in the daylight, right?
Yes.
And that's, I think, what you're referring to, right? Initially, that's when you didn't yet know somebody was in the truck.
Can you say that again?
So at the beginning, when you first got there, right, you didn't know right away that somebody was in the truck.
No, I didn't.
I think you had said before, because it was so light outside, it was a bit difficult to see into the truck.
I wasn't really paying attention to his truck. He was outside of it.
Sure. And then in your police interview, you referred to then seeing a light in the truck, and that's when you started to see somebody?
Yeah, that's when the door opened.
Okay, so there's a light turned on, and at the same time a door opened?
That's the reason the light was on.
Okay, because the truck door was open. Yes?
Sure.
And you said that you saw a couple different times her go back and forth to the gas station?
Yes.
And only at one of those different times you were on your way to the gas station as well.
Yes.
But for that whole time, she remained in front of you?
When I was going into the gas station, she was in front of me. When I walked into the gas station, she went to the left, I went straight, and over to the right.
Okay, so right here, when you going into the gas station, like I said, the let me pull it up. So once you walk, the store is very tiny. You walk in, and you can go left to the coolers down any of those aisles. When you go left, which is the way that they're gonna go, is the door to the shop. But the opposite way, like if the way the person is behind them is gonna be the other door. And so that means Naziah was shopping for stuff allegedly, and she went to the bathroom. So I was wondering, what was Naziah going to the bathroom also? Another thing, that I wondered is if that's where the door is at, the other door. So this is the right door, the other door is to the left. The other thing that I wondered, y'all, is if Naziah kept going in and out to meet Jarvis at that door. Was she going in there to say something to him? You know what I'm saying? I thought that too. Because I'm like, I know Naziah didn't have money to keep going back. I'm thinking that she didn't have money to just keep going back and forth in the store. And what does she need to keep going back and forth in the store? The only thing I could think of is that she was going to the bathroom. But she could have been talking to Jarvis. She really could have. Come on, y'all. Can we please get the thumbs up? Yes, please smack the thumbs up if you have not got a chance to. And also subscribe to the channel. Set all notifications so you know every time we go live over here. You need to listen with earphones. Yeah, definitely. Like, you will not miss it. Good. It was hard to hear. Oh, I don't know. Which one was hard to hear? When was that? I'm not sure when you asked that question. Yeah, let me know if I'm gonna put the number up if anybody want to call in. If you want to call in, because in case I missed your a question or message or whatever, if you want have something to say, I would love to hear from y'all. So where is it? And I know BFF will drop it in the chat too. So yeah, call in. Let me know what y'all think. And while we right here, here's the extensions where he was talking.
Supposed to get sentenced last year, the day before my birthday. We went to court, whatever case may be. They adjourned it to January the 9th. That's the day we got. Right. So I had a legal issue pending. And I asked to get it extended before I could take care of my legal issue in Clinton Township. That was January the 25th.
That's the one I couldn't remember. January the 25th. So originally his court date was November 20th. Then they reset it to January 9th. They reset it again to January 25th. And again on February 7th when they finally arrested him.
Get sentenced last year, the day before my birthday. We went to court, whatever case may be. They adjourned it to January the 9th. That's the day we got. Right. So I had a legal issue pending. And I asked to get it extended before I could take care of my legal issue in Clinton Township. That was January the 25th. So after that, then they scheduled it for February the 7th. To go. Yes. Wow.
Yep, Amma. That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, she going in there to go to the bathroom. Like, she said she kept getting in and out of the truck. Just the way that she said that. Okay, so I'm going to let her finish.
Into the gas station, she went to the left, I went straight and over to the right.
For that walk over to the gas
Straight and over to the right. So she went to the bathroom.
station, was it getting dark at that point?
It was already dark.
Okay.
It was already dark at 5 something.
And while she was in the truck, you were not sure exactly which part of the truck this was?
I can't remember, no.
Okay. So you understood initially that when you arrived, you'd probably have to wait at the shop sometime?
Yes.
I think you referred to just one other car he worked on first. Is that all there was before you?
It was actually another vehicle out there, but I don't pay my brother to work on my car, so I had to wait until he was done making his money. So
Sure.
I waited.
Sure.
See?
So do you know how many cars he worked on before he got to you?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you know if there were any other customers present in person?
I did see someone, I can't remember what kind of car it was in, but it was, I believe, a gentleman that needed to pull into the garage because Jarvis asked me to move my car out the way because I was blocking the garage. So, yes.
Very interesting that she only mentioned one other guy. Because remember in King's testimony, he was like, King actually was saying that it was busy. They had people, they was in and out of people's cars. They was doing this, that, and the third. Couple oil changes, this, that, something. And then he turned around. They asked him, when y'all have a lot of people, when y'all have customers, do you usually one person stay at the shop and the other go? Because he said they both left the shop. First, he said they was busy, right? They getting in, doing all this work. Then he said they both left the shop to go get the part. Right after the lady asked, so when it's busy, do normally one of y'all stay behind and one go? No, he said they both went. He said, but first he was like, well, when it's busy, one of us will stay or something. Or it might have just been her question, but they asked that and he answered it wrong. The way that he answered it, it wasn't nobody at that shop. Because I said in that video, I'm like, okay, so it's busy. Why would both of them leave? And now she's saying that it was only one other person. So it wasn't no cars at that shop when they was both in that car going to get that part. And if we was to go by what King said, by the time they went and got the part, it was already after 3 because ZIYAH get out of school. He was supposed to meet her at 3:00. So you mean to tell me they didn't get started on the Jaguar until after 3? This is the points that I'm making. I believe that Jaguar, it could have been fixed already. It's something off with that. They waited until the same day that ZIYAH went missing to get the part and to fix it. That don't make no sense when you had it sitting there all these days. Let me see what he's saying in this one.
I assessed the Jaguar. Jarvis left moment.
Oh, this is the part. I didn't get the first part, but he said see, that's another part. King lied in his testimony because in his testimony, he said the Jaguar got there about 9:00 and he's talking about the same day. So he lied on his testimony. He said he got there about 8:45. The Jaguar got there around 9:00. He assessed the Jaguar. Let's listen at him.
I assessed the Jaguar.
Wait.
Jarvis left moment. I assessed the Jaguar. Jarvis left.
God dang it. And that part when he said Jarvis left for a moment, I said Jarvis must have went to court. Courts usually happen around 9 something in the morning, right? So we know that Jarvis had a court date that day. Had they locked him up, we wouldn't be talking about ZIYAH being missing right now. I've said this. Like, no, it's like everything worked out in their favor, man. I mean, everything was a go for them. Everybody messed up from the school on down to everybody.
I assessed the Jaguar. Jarvis left moment. I had another mechanic needing a foreign car. I assessed the Jaguar.
This is annoying because it ain't going to all the way to the front.
Jarvis left moment. I had another mechanic needing a foreign car, so I had a foreign car mechanic on call to help with the work, but he was busy, so he came. Said he wouldn't have time to do it, so I think I Googled it, seen how it was done, and I proceeded taking the water pump off. Before that, I called them. They ordered the water pump, so we went and picked it up when they called and said it was in. We got in the truck, went to AutoZone, got the water pump. On our way back from AutoZone, I believe we forgot something, so we ended up turning back around, going back to AutoZone, grabbed whatever we forgot, came back. And on our way back, he was coming down Harbor. Jarvis said, I see my niece right there. She walking. We pulled into Angel's liquor store. I still didn't see her. Pointed across my face, said she right there. She was. I assessed the Jaguar. Jarvis left.
So there it is. Y'all heard him say, I assessed the Jaguar. So the person that lived in Detroit that rode down the street said that this is they would have had to been going down Gratiot to run into her before. I think he said to get to AutoZone wouldn't have even been in the path of picking up ZIYAH. If she had just got off the bus, he's driving down the street right now. He said this the street they had to been going by, and I'ma slow it down when he gets to Balfour. This is where they picked her up from. Right there where Shannon always picked Jarvis up, right there on Balfour. They was right on time for pickup. So him talking about they put into the liquor store and all this stuff, that is a damn lie, because the liquor store that he said is over an hour away. This is only 20 minutes, a 20-minute walk from her bus stop. And the only reason that I don't know, I mean, if they picked her up on this street, it should have been plenty of cameras. Some of these houses had cameras, but that's why you stall time. That's why you wait. That's why you report it to the police. That's why you report it to the school. That's why you report her as a runaway, so you can buy you a good month, so no footage will be available, or longer than that, because they do all the stuff in steps. So. Let's go.
Was this someone you recognized at all?
No.
So in total, other than Jarvis, or who you referred to as King, was there anyone present that you recognized that day?
No. Just King and one brother.
So as you said, the sun set while you were there. Do you know about how long it was light out before it got dark?
Well, I got there about 4 o'clock. It didn't take long for it to get dark. I don't remember the exact time, but it got dark pretty fast.
Okay, and then other than when you went to the gas station, were you always at the shop?
What do you mean?
So did you go anywhere else?
No, I never left. All I did was move my car when he asked me to move my car. And once the driveway was clear, I back where I was. I didn't go anywhere else.
Okay. And when you were present, not going to the gas station, were you always inside your vehicle?
Yes.
Were your doors open or closed?
Closed.
Okay, and were your windows up or down?
They were up unless I asked him something.
Okay, so sometimes if you needed to communicate, you just open the window?
Or I would call him, yeah. Yes.
And you were saying today that at one point you did speak to Jarvis about who this girl was?
Yes.
And when you were talking to the police about this, you had said that you weren't sure exactly what his response was?
What I said was I wasn't sure of the wording.
Sure, that's what I mean.
Okay.
You told the police, right, that it might have been King's niece, or maybe he said it's my homeboy's niece?
He said it was his partner or King's niece, but he definitely said it was someone else's niece.
Okay, I mean, does it sound right to you that you used the term homeboy's niece with the police?
I probably did.
Okay.
It's all the same to me.
And then that's what you continued to think at first, right? At first, you just believed that it was someone else's niece.
Yeah.
Specifically, you thought it was probably King's niece.
That's what I was told.
Which I think as we established, right, King is the same person as Cordell, right?
Yes.
And then after that, you would listen to some of these podcasts and to the news.
I listened to his kid's mother, and then I watched the podcast.
Okay, so those are some things that happened. Both.
Yes.
And then
now, see, she said I listened to this kid's mother, then I watched the podcast. And remember, that's why I'm like, what else happened on the 14th besides the press conference? Because the first time I heard it, I was thinking, did somebody, another woman, tell him that he did something to their kid? So that's still in the air. And welcome in, Pookie Poo. She said lots of times when ordering a part, it could be definitely a few days or a week. I have had that happen getting my car fixed. You are absolutely right. Yeah, it could take days to get the part, but King said he called that day to order the part. And then they went to go pick it up the same day. And then the car was already sitting there for 4 or 5 days. So why did they wait? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is true. And that's probably what he was thinking too. But no, it don't make sense. You get the car was sitting there for days, but you wait until the day of to get the part. Like that don't even make no sense. So yeah, though, that's wild. So they got that water pump in the afternoon, not night. Yeah, that's what he's saying. As a matter of fact, it would have been before they met Naziah, because he said they went and got the part. They went back to the shop, realized they forgot something, but he didn't remember what they forgot. So they went out again, and allegedly that's when they seen Naziah.
Once you started to have this different information and you were gathering, then you kind of started to look into it for yourself.
Yes.
Do some of your own investigation.
Yes.
And then at one point following that, that's when you decided to go back to the shop.
Yes.
To speak to Cordell.
Yes.
And to discuss some of these things you've been learning with him.
Yes.
You and Jarvis are not particularly close.
See?
I wouldn't say that we're really distant. I don't see him every day. I don't talk to him every day, but he's my brother.
Okay. He's your brother, but you don't have a very close relationship, or?
He's my brother. She irritates
me. He's
her.
my brother.
Okay. What about with his children? Are you close with his children?
Some of the ones that I know.
So he has 13 kids, right?
I have no idea.
Do you have an idea of around how many kids he has?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Do some of them live with different mothers?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to point out the number 13, y'all. If y'all been watching me, I've said that Jarvis likes the number 13. Got a couple baby mamas that's 31. Something happened to him at 13, allegedly, and probably before that. And it's something about that age, 13. Naziah was 13. Her mom, all kind of stuff I'm hearing. But for a fact, I can't say the mother, because that could be, I don't know. But we have heard that the mother, the grandmother. But I'm going to just say from what I've gathered and seen, Jarvis at 13, Naziah 13, and them two women 31, which is 13. Him telling people he got 13 kids when he got damn near 30, I've heard now. And yeah, so it's something about that 13. It keeps standing out. And it was another thing that oh yeah, I think it was the kids was the last one that I was thinking.
And you don't spend time with all of them?
No.
So which ones do you know?
I don't want to say their names. They're minors.
And that was a good comeback. Like, why would you even ask her that? Like, she gonna sit here and name all the kids.
Okay.
And I don't want to disclose their identity.
Could you just give like a number instead? How many do you know?
I'm counting.
She pissing her off with that. She really pissing her off with that.
About 8.
So when you say 8 that you know, does that mean 8 that you have like personal contact with?
I have.
Okay. When is the last time that you've seen any of them?
Right, she tired of her. Like, girl.
Yeah, 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm. You think so, Pooh? Pookie Pooh?
For the most part.
And were there some events surrounding her death that were related to your relationship with Jarvis that impacted some things?
No.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that right there? Y'all see that? And the way that she answered, she threw that in there. Oh, but wait a minute. I paused it because Alma said something. Hold on. Now she said, where is the receipt from AutoZone? Now check this out. Every time you go to AutoZone, they got you in the computer, baby. They got you in a computer. Like, I just recently got my brakes fixed. Anytime you go to AutoZone, they got your name, they got what you order, they got all that. So they definitely, that AutoZone receipt that's in the computer, that's stay for a long time, unless they were smart enough to put it under a different name, somebody else or whatever. That is available, and that receipt would actually be as good as a camera. And also, I mean, shoot, if they know the exact day and time that they went to AutoZone, they might have it. I mean, who know? I don't know how long AutoZone, because AutoZone is a bigger company than some of these other places. So yes, AutoZone has all your info for years. Hell yeah. That was a good one, because I didn't even think about that until you said it. So with that being said, I'm telling you, if he used his phone number to get it, and it would be even the whatever form of payment you had, man, these people is cooked. They cooked. I think the lawyer was trying to see if she could recognize her niece from ZIYAH. Yeah, and also just digging at her. But yeah, definitely. She want to make sure that, I think. But it felt like she was doing more digging. Like, do you even know your nieces and nephews? I mean, he got so many. Do you know them? Is y'all a real family or not? Because look at that. Look at her face. Let's take that back. That one hurt, though, when she said something about the grandmother.
Your grandmother?
For the most part.
Let me
How
go
many
back.
do you know?
I'm counting.
See? I wonder what happened. I really do want to know. I wonder. I'm nosy. I want to know.
About 8.
So when you say 8 that you know, does that mean 8 that you have like personal contact with?
I have.
Okay. When is the last time that you've seen any of them?
About 2 months ago.
Yes, I seen
Were you
that,
Jarvis
Jennifer.
raised by your grandmother?
For the most part.
Where was they
Were
mother?
there some events surrounding her death that related to your relationship with Jarvis that impacted some things?
No.
That hurt her. That hurt her bad.
I have no further questions.
What was it?
Can you redirect?
Ooh, she pissed. She furious now.
Ms. Butts, you said that there was another reason. There was a different reason that you thought that it was ZIYAH that you had saw that day.
She can't even think straight.
When you were starting to compile this there was another reason. There was a different reason.
For the most part.
And were there some events surrounding her death that related to your relationship with Jarvis that impacted some things?
No.
Events related to her death. What do y'all think Jarvis might have did to his granny or around her death? Yeah, supposedly all the men at the shop were SOs. Now, you know what? I said this too. I promise you. I said birds of a feather flock together. And the only dang on way that you would be okay with that is if you had the same thing. And I do remember Vari saying something similar to that. Like, wait, did somebody say they looked him up? Now, as far as the charges being on his record, I seen it. It's on there, and it's the same thing. It looks like it happened. It looked like it's connected to Jarvis, the one that I'm thinking. And it also, yeah, it's the same charges that Jarvis got. I'm sure I could find it because I got it somewhere in my photos. I'm gonna have to bring that forward. But yeah, it was said that was a mistake. I remember Roxy speaking on that, and she said she was aware of it. She asked about it, and they told her that it was an error. Do they make mistakes like that? That don't make sense. And if they do, that's a problem. I feel like he knows and played with this baby also. He had to. You know what make him look guilty? I mean, alleged. Everything is alleged. But you know what makes him look really guilty is that he did the same thing Annette did. Out of everybody at this hearing, only King's hearing was actually in November. His hearing was months before this happened, right? So, but I thought that it was weird that he acted like he couldn't see Jarvis and old girl couldn't see him either. So, and then they said allegedly that he may have been involved with the granny, and hell, allegedly he could be more than just friends with old boy. So, could that be why they couldn't see him? King riding around with them just doesn't sit well with me. Exactly. 2 overgrown men with a little girl, and we see how big this shop is or how small this shop is. Ain't no way King is in the shop and didn't know. Like, okay, think about it like this. If this is where they go, because in some of those text messages, the shop or we going to the shop or the basement. Okay, so this is a regular place that they go. And if he's supposed to be there fixing on cars, like he was saying, oh, him and Jarvis was fixing on his car. If that's the case, where did King think Jarvis was at? Why he was supposed to be helping him fix on cars? Make sense. So later, finding out they do this stuff, he was going to that shop after hours. I do believe that. And if he was taking her in there after hours, that should have stuck out like a sore thumb too. And I was like, how did the people in the store didn't know nothing? It just don't make sense. But see, when I found out that King was had jumped on a pregnant woman, that's when I was like, he's not a good guy either. Shout out to Talina. How you been? Welcome in. Unless King knew what Jarvis was doing, but became irritated because it was bringing attention. So we thinking, I'm gonna do a poll because I'm curious to know, do we think that King was aware of it, that he was just aware of it, or was he involved too? Because I mean, I don't see nobody putting the fact King was on the tether, right? So any type of act, as a matter of fact, they shouldn't have even been around each other. I don't know if he was if you got weapon charges and all that, don't that make you a felon? Ain't a SO, wouldn't that make you a felon? I'm not sure about that. But ain't it a rule where 2 felons are not supposed to be together? I don't know if both of them would have been a felon, but that's something to think about. No, that man was down with the get down. I feel it in my bones. Jennifer, you own to something. I'm telling you, because why would you even risk being around, having that type of activity around you? See, unless you the same type of person. Y'all own it. Because I'm telling y'all, at first, when I first seen King's testimony, I didn't think nothing of it. I was just listening. But then after listening to the other stuff, and it's just like, why would you risk it? Why would you want somebody doing anything illegal around you? Because that's going to bring heat on you. He even said, he was like, just having police involvement, period, puts me at risk for being in trouble or revoked or whatever he called it, right? So it's really strict. Now, we also heard him say that, I think he said in 2021, he got locked up. They got out, he got out, and they went back to doing the same old thing. Yeah, because these some good old boys that hang around. They got the same, they hang in the same crowds. They love the same type of things. Ain't no damn way you gonna have a, man, yeah. He had to know, man. Jumped on a pregnant woman, yep. He sure did. That's what he got locked up for. And I think it was more than one time. Like, so yeah, that's not a good person. And then I wondered if he ever dated Jarvis's sister. You know, I asked that question before. How is it no one in the store or the gas station didn't know anything when they were all connected? Exactly. You could get to the shop through the store. Exactly. How do you not know? How do you not hear anything? And then the other part that's been on my mind, I just didn't want to think about because of what he was doing. But I'm like, is he a shortcomer? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody hearing nothing. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't even want to think like that because of who we talking about. But I'm like, man, what? The store should have heard everything. King should have heard and knew everything. And anybody that seen a kid around them should have known. Period. This store is too little not to know. Hell, I mean, and then the other awkward weird thing is there was another guy from Detroit that went to the store and talked to the people that were in the store, and they didn't even know about ZIYAH because they didn't even know. So that's telling me that unless they was lying, but I don't think they were lying. They just didn't know about the case. So it sounds like they got all new workers in that store that's uninformed. Well, they are now because several people then went up there about this case, but they said they didn't even know about it. I'm like, what? How do you not know? How do you not know? Let me get through this.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Dang, I forgot my part.
He's your brother, but you don't have a very close relationship, or?
He's my brother.
Okay. What about with his children? Are you close with his children?
Some of the ones that I know.
So he has 13 kids, right?
I have no idea.
Do you have an idea of around how many kids he has?
A lot.
Okay. Do some of them live with different mothers?
Yes.
And you don't spend time with all of them?
No.
So which ones do you know?
I don't want to say their names. They're minors.
Okay.
And I don't want to disclose their identity.
Could you just give like a number instead? How many do you know?
I'm counting.
Thank you, Jennifer.
About 8.
So when you say 8 that you know, does that mean 8 that you have like personal contact with?
I have.
Okay. When is the last time that you've seen any of them?
Mm-hmm.
About 2 months ago.
Were you and Jarvis raised by your grandmother?
For the most part.
And were there some events surrounding her death that related to your relationship with Jarvis that impacted some things?
No.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Any redirect?
Yes, Judge.
Mm-mm-mm. What did that man do?
Ms. Butts, you said that there was another reason. There was a different reason that you thought that it was Messiah that you had saw that day. When you were starting to compile, or when you talked to Shannon Harris, and then you got the podcast. Before that, you said there was other reasons why you had thought that was Messiah.
So, am I?
Yes.
Can I speak for
What is
okay,
that? Yes.
So, at the time, I didn't know. Once I realized that it was a possibility that I saw her, there were several reasons that led me to believe that it was a possibility I was there. And I didn't want to get into detail as far as what I knew before the podcast. But if you would like, I would explain to you why I thought these things.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Can we approach?
Yes. We'll be right back.
Now she got time to think about what that woman said about her grandmother, and I'm sure what y'all think Jarvis did, man. I was supposed to do a poll, but I ain't gonna do it. But what do y'all think Jarvis did with the grandmother? Something to the grandmother. Shoot. I'm sure it was something real sick. What they had to go in that room for? We want to hear. Grandma was selling. Oh my God! You know what? I'm thinking that it was something he did to the grandmother, not that they did something to him. But you're right. This is deep rooted, right? Deep rooted generational curses on both sides, and trauma bonding with him. And look at that. Oh, she hurt that woman. I wonder. He did something. But yeah, like, hey, let me go back, because she done flipped it and said the granny. Oh, you talking about ZIYAH granny? Okay. Kimberly said that grandma. I was thinking you was talking about his grandmother, but I think you said, yeah. Very possible. I mean, when you think about the type of person she is, at first I was like, well, Jarvis is broke. Do we think that he was really paying for anything? Or was he paying with something else? You know, like he was greasing them all up and doing things around the house, and you know, I don't know, but I don't know how much money they might have been getting. Shout out to Chocolate313. Welcome in. Oh my God, I was gonna say that has to be more than him, because whoever he was talking greasy to when he said you new to the game. She's rent free in my head. What game? So wait a minute. The person that he was talking to on the phone when he was like, you the only what he called her? He called her a sweetheart. Sweet tart, I should say, because you can't say that other word. And he called her a sweet tart because those are the kind of people that he go after. He want them to be as slower than him, because you know that's the only way that he can feel smart. Now he called that woman. He was like, "You the only dumb bee." He said everybody know what it is. What he said, you the only dumb bee. Everybody know what it is with Shannon. He said you the newcomer. He called her. But oh my God, I was gonna say that has to be more than him, because whoever he was talking greasy to when he said you new to the game lives rent free in my head. And I think that was old girl. I think that was the one that he's Tatiana Davis. I think that was her. She was hot, and she was the same one that was putting the phone up to his face. She was trying to figure out who he was talking to on that phone. And so she was putting the phone up to his face, I guess, when he was asleep. I don't know when she could catch him sleep, since he was only coming over at night and leaving before the sun come up. I wouldn't have told nobody that. Nobody. But Talina, I'm not. Is that what you was talking about? Oh, okay. I thought it was a ring. Oh, okay. Well, shoot. No, he was saying she was talking about my brother. Your brother said, "Why am I still effing with you?" And then she told him, "You just gave me that ring because you know I don't want to f with you." But I think slower than slower than a molasses. Yes, he called her a newcomer. Like what? Been in the bushes for a while now. Just thank you for dropping down. I appreciate that. Many times when there's a loss in a family, money is a source of friction. You are so right. Yep. So it could have been something like that. I don't know though. We talking about Jarvis. I'm thinking something else. Like he done took something from his granny, or he did something foul that made him and his sister fall out concerning her. I heard a video of a guy saying his mom has a baby. Yep. The grandma probably didn't protect them kids. Yep. You so right. You so right. So now we talking about two grannies, because she said your grandmother raised y'all, she said, for the most part. So that means she didn't all the way raise them. It was some half-assing going on, maybe on her mother's end. Like if the grandmother had to step in, that mean the mother wasn't cool. But why wasn't the mother cool? What happened in her childhood? It's just a generational thing that just keep going and going. That's crazy, man. But yeah, let's get this done. They done hurt this woman. She should get counseling because that really devastated her. Well, see, she thought when that woman said that, whatever it was, it popped right back in her head. It's like, and the fact that she can cry about it like that, she never got over it. And look at this bastard. Look at your sister. Look at her. It ain't no reason why he can't. And he do look up at some point. But it's just them. You know what I'm saying? It feel like it's just him and his sister right now. Look at her.
You need some water or something?
Bastard.
Can you get some water from the Can you get some water?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Look at her. You a loser. You know she's upset. You won't even look at her. What are you writing?
It's gonna be alright.
You ain't gonna make sure your sister okay? What a loser. He ain't protecting no women around him. All he is to inflict pain on people. You should be ashamed of your damn self. I mean, dang, I would want to hug her right now. God, you know what you did. Can't even look up. I'm so mad they let this bastard wear that mask. And I don't understand the seating position and why he got so many damn attorneys. He need to be put up right next to that seat, right up at that seat at the desk. This part, not this part, but the fact that he was allowed to wear that mask, it really pisses me off. And it must be a constitutional right or something. Like, why he got it on? Why did he need that? And she just bawling her eyes out. They know. Look, I think he gonna look up. See? Hold on, he looking everywhere else though. Look at him. Now he looking at her maybe. Finally. Bastard. If he even looking at her. He know what he did. Look at that. You piece of shit. So weak. He's a weak link. And he can only deal with women like that because he want to make sure that he the smartest one in the room. That's why he used words like sweet tart. I can't say the other one, the R.E. tart though, but You know, that's why he used words like that. Because that's what he looked for. Big and sweet tarts. Big tart. Let's go. Oh boy. Look at him. Look at him. Look at her again, fool. He ain't gonna look at her no more. Only the paper. I ain't writing a damn thing. So I remember it was a guy that said he was in the courtroom the whole time. He was like, he never looked up once. I said, yes, the hell he did. I seen him look up. He looked up. But yeah, he was also looking trying to find everything else to look at. Then he just was like, forget it. I'm gonna look at her. Loser. Should be a damn shame of yourself. He looked up again. But now I don't think he looked at her. Dang, I wonder what was they talking about.
Can you do some more?
No, just it. Okay. I got like 2 more minutes.
Come on with it.
Okay, we are back on the record. Ms. Butts, you are still under oath. Ms. Ripley, go right ahead.
Thank you. So, Ms. Butts, what's the sources of these reasons that you have? Are these things that you know from your personal knowledge? Are these things that you observe yourself?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Repeat that.
So these reasons that you were thinking of, what are the sources of them? Is it somebody told you something? Is it something that you saw yourself, you observed, or a coupling of that?
I would say a bit of both.
Okay.
Things that I was told and things that I heard.
Okay.
Or things that you know?
Heard from Jarvis?
No.
Okay. Were these things that you had already known prior?
Prior to
thinking that was Messiah that you saw?
I'm sorry, I'm confused on the question.
So are these things, the sources that you have for these reasons, are they like things that you have personal knowledge of, or are they things that somebody told you about?
See, I forgot what the original question was, but something like what made her come to the conclusion of, or something. It sounds like they're trying to see if she's basing her opinion off of her brother or the incident off of something she knew that he did from the past or something present. But I will have to go back before they left the room to remember what the question was. God dang, because remember they went to recess, but they asked her something before then. I can't remember exactly what it was without going back.
These were things that I was told. I'm trying to understand.
Why don't she just repeat the whole damn question?
Asking.
Damn.
Ms. Ripley, you're referring to the question before we went into sidebar about
exactly
her leading up to believing that it was possibly ZIYAH Harris at the shop, correct?
Yes.
Does that help clarify?
Okay.
The line of questioning?
Yes.
Okay, so those reasons, those things, are those things that you had known before? Are they based on your observations? Or
well, these were things that I was told. And after asking the questions that I needed to ask, I came up with the conclusion that it was a possibility that ZIYAH was the little girl that I saw that day.
Okay, thank you.
So they basically trying to see if she knew her prior to seeing her, pretty much, is what I'm getting.
You said that when you were parked at Jarvis's shop, that it was getting dark out.
Yes.
Okay. That darkness, is that maybe the reason why the color on the jacket stood out?
Well, the jacket didn't stand out until I was walking into the gas station behind her because I wasn't really like paying attention to what she had on. I just kept seeing her get in and out of the truck, going in the gas station and coming back to the truck. And that's what caught my attention.
Okay, so the movement is what attracted you to it at first.
Yes.
Okay. The judge.
Okay, Ms. Bessie, we're done testifying. What?
All right, that was torturous for her, man. They really she really went through a lot with her testimony, the emotional part, and so the judge seems to be doing a good job. Yes, the judge is absolutely doing a good job. They asked her why she felt like she had saw ZIYAH that night. Okay. I could not remember what the heck the question was. What and where is Ann Harbor? What is Ann Harbor? I never heard of that. Thanks, Selena. Apparently, I lost track too. Like, and then the way that the judge, I wish the one, I don't understand. You know, she's sitting up there crying. She's emotional. You barely, because once you get emotional, if somebody asks you something about a passed away granny or whatever, and whatever happened, your mind is gonna go everywhere. She didn't know how to answer the question, and I feel like she should have just started it from the beginning. Yeah, she does show much restraint, but when I tell you that judge, the faces she be making, the way that she be tuned in, and the way that she read them they rights, or insinuating that the little girl could have been one of his daughters to create doubt. Okay. She knows her nasty brother and put two and two together. Yep. Dang though, but and then I think she has a lot of guilt because she knew the type of brother that she had and didn't say anything, and then now all of this, she's gone. Like, people want to believe in they people, but like I said, people like him, they don't deserve a second chance. Not with your baby. Talking well, I mean, if they gave him a second chance, I can give him a second chance. Nah, baby girl, this is more deeper than that. The baby might be in Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor. You know what? When I was listening at the evidence, I thought I heard them say something about an unknown DNA. And it made me wonder about her baby. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, what you saying right there, Chocolate, another thing that I was thinking, though, like, this would be a person like him dream to have these two babies, basically. So why would they get rid of him? I was thinking that it could have been a ring of people and he handed her off. But then they saying that they can prove without a shadow of a doubt that she is deceased. So they gotta have something. They gotta have something to prove it. But it's hard to say that and not have a body. I mean, that's no closure. But having all this time, the only thing I can think of is the landfill. And it could have been they could have put her in a dumpster in Ypsilanti, anywhere along that stretch. It just don't seem like she's just out in the open somewhere. But I think, we might be very surprised when we find out, because I was listening to somebody. I don't remember who I was listening to. Oh yeah, that was somebody saying that he was listening to Dang, I just lost my whole dang on train of thought. God dang it. God dang it. Oh, this is something that I wanted to do. So one of the things that I want to do is like comments, highlighted or spotlighted comment. So in my last video, we was talking about Shannon. It was Shannon and her beautician. And people had a lot to say about her. So I wanted to go on one of the comments that I thought was a good comment and talk about it for a brief second. So, like I said, I have videos, live streams, and shorts. So whatever type of content you like, if you like the shorter, quicker version to get you to the answer or whatever, the videos is really good, and the shorts too. But somebody said, where was Shannon's daughter the day Naziah went missing? She never mentioned her daughter, right? I do remember that. So they said where this comment is coming up. It's from a day ago, and it's under the video of Shannon and her beautician, and the name is Lala. And Lala said, where was Shannon's daughter the day Naziah went missing? Naziah got off the bus by herself, and Shannon said Annette picked up the boys from the after school program. They never said anything about where her daughter was that day. I'm thinking about the two girls. She said, I'm thinking about the two girls were close, and Shannon's daughter knew about the pregnancy as well. And so that is a good question, because her daughter didn't come up on the stand. The mother said, I picked up my two kids from the after school program. So I was wondering, was the other kids already at home with Shannon? Remember, Shannon said she did not leave the house that day at all. She was at home the whole entire day. And that was so odd. How you at home the whole entire day and your niece is missing? He wasn't placed on that registry until the CPS allegations. Yep. And what year did she say it was? 2019? I think Jernell said, because I think that is where that came from, that after he finally got on the list in 2019. Or was it after the allegations? Was it 2019 or 2022? Because I can't remember now, but I do remember Jernell saying that she had found out about Jarvis 12 years ago. He had got in some trouble and he got arrested, and he was watching his daughter at the time that he got arrested, and they had to go pick up the child, and that's when she looked at his record. She said, oh wait, and she said 12 years ago. That means he was watching his infant child. Heck, I mean, if it couldn't have been 12 years ago, because she ain't 12. Ain't she? Yeah, she's 10. I remember in his interrogation, they asked how old was his daughter, and he said she's 10, but they thought he said she's 6. They thought he said 16. The Shannon kids go to school on the 9th. Now remember, we listened to that podcast that Mark Deedon was on, and in that podcast, they said that he heard. Now, this was back in February. Matter of fact, it was February 21st to be exact. Mark D said that they were told that none of the kids went to school that day. The only person that went to school was Naziah that day. That's what they said. But then you got the granny saying she picked up her two from the after school program. So where does that leave the other kids? They didn't. So that's an inconsistency right there. So I wonder. That's something shady. Mark D said that Naziah was the only one. Yep. You must have been typing that at the same time that I said it. Yes. So I'm glad somebody else is on that. Shout out to the sleuths in the building, man. I'm telling y'all. Y'all be on it. Y'all be on it. And so he wasn't playing. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti are college towns. The University of Michigan is in Ann Arbor. Okay. And Eastern Michigan University is in Ypsilanti. So those cities are only 10 to 15 minutes apart. Wow, they could have went anywhere. And then think about it. Wait a minute now. Let's see. What if, now this is a stretch, but what if there was a car already out there for Jarvis to get into, and King had his phone going all them other places, and at the shop. But King had to turn it in after 9 though. So, but what if they had a car in Ypsilanti? Like, okay, so they had to drive 2 cars to get there, and then allegedly they all jumped in. Oh, that's another inconsistency too. The sister said it was King's truck, and King said he got in the 300. That was the other inconsistency somebody had pointed out. I can't remember who it was. We went back and listened to it, and sure enough, King's son's auntie said that they arrived in King's truck. King said they left the shop in his 300. He was driving his 300, and Jarvis and Naziah was in the Jaguar. But okay, so they had to have 2 vehicles to get there. Once they got there, if he was planning on doing anything, he could have had a whole different car. But how would they wouldn't have been able to drive 3 cars? So that's out the box, and it was a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, they can't drive 3 cars, and I don't think Naziah knew how to drive. Like, but so yeah, with that being Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti are college towns. He could have been anywhere. He could have been, and I'm telling you, I feel like it's something with them phones though. I really do. When did their grandma pass? I wonder. See, I'm picturing it being when they was younger, but I'm not sure, because I hadn't heard nothing about their granny until now. I mean, until hearing her testimony. But I wonder what that dude did. But like somebody else said, maybe the granny did something. I don't know. Maybe she didn't take good care of him. No, she didn't know. She didn't know why. She didn't know? She didn't know why he was in prison. What? They were estranged for a long time. He was on the registry until he wasn't on the registry until Jernell and them complained to CPS. Now, what? So he wasn't. I wonder how long were they estranged, because I got a picture of both of them in the car. You could tell she was younger. But he went to prison in 2005. So maybe they got cool after he got out of prison. And that's what I'm thinking. They must have been okay when they was younger, because the picture that I have, they was in the same car, looking like they was cool. As a matter of fact, it's the picture on the thumbnail. But then the one, I didn't put the one with the little girl. So yeah, this is her in the car with him. She's taking a picture. And it looked like, she's happy to be with her brother. So I wonder. She looked, I don't know how old she is. She says she's 46 now. She was probably in her 20s or 30s. I don't know. But I wonder what the heck. So it is possible that she could have not known if she didn't. But families still talk, though. Even if you're not talking to your family member, you still hear stuff about them, because you can't get away from your family. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody call her and they ain't talk about his sorry self. Like, that's really hard to believe, because just because you fall out with your one family member, the rest of the family is still cool. Somebody talking to them in the family. She only acknowledged 8 out of they was going with the number. They was going with the number 13 at that time. She was only acknowledging 8 out of 20 and 30. Right. So the first number I heard, because King actually said 13. He actually said 13 in court. And then I think I don't think I heard Jarvis say 13. Or did he? I'm gonna have to listen at the interrogation video again myself. So yeah, she didn't know very many of them, and it sounded like his brother didn't want to have nothing to do with him either, because the girl that the video y'all talking about where he cussed her out. Let me go to it right quick, because the brother didn't even want to have nothing to do with him. He was like, and then he was like, you trying to make me think. He didn't want to believe her that his brother would say anything like that against him. But as a matter of fact, let me see. Where is that video at? Dang, and I don't even think I'm about to post 2 videos, y'all, that y'all definitely got to go check out. They are not very long. I'm going to drop the clear audio video. And then also the where is that video? I don't even the convo last 2 conversations. Oh, this one. So it's 4 minutes, the one that y'all need to listen to about the wait, let me see. Conversation with Jarvis and a female that he was engaged to. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't want to play it here because it's gonna sound like crap. So I'm gonna drop it. And it says Jarvis but denies the last 2. That's what he was doing on this phone call. And the girl was saying that your brother asked me, why am I still effing with you? He was like, he was really not wanting to believe that his brother would say anything about him. So I don't know if he was cool with his brother or not. But it sounded like, because when I looked at his record, I read something where he did something to his own family member, but it wasn't his daughter. It was something that landed him in prison. It was 2 things that he had did, and I think it was a family member, and it was something about somebody else. So this dude is a real piece of work. That but it's just hard for me to believe it. But I still don't blame the sister. Please smack the thumbs up, y'all. Please get it. We got 78 people still in the building. 70 thumbs up. Can y'all please hit the thumbs up? I know it be people in the bushes, but show a little love. I appreciate it. And so those are the 2 videos that I just dropped. But even if you can't get to it, just go to the video section. Y'all see it. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, y'all. I was actually planning on being just 2 hours, and look at us. It's hard to say something unless you have solid proof. It's difficult. Yes, it's a difficult line to walk. I will feel guilty if I were her. And yeah, because I mean, think about it though, y'all. This is his sister. So she knew her brother before he was an adult. See, this kind of behavior, it starts as a kid because something happened there. And so he probably had this kind of behavior all his life, really, and he probably was being passed around by his mother. That's what it sounded like. He probably, was, like, hey, you do this. And he probably liked it. Hell, I mean, the fact that he doing what he doing, oh my God, that is so, I'm so sorry. Definitely didn't mean to, so I definitely never mean to do that, but I'm thinking that it had to have happened to him in a bad way, and he chooses that age as a sick remembrance or something. I don't know. I can't get into these people's heads, but it's something. Yeah, and this is why I believe it was planned for a while. Yep. You know what I believe, Chocolate? That after he knew that he wasn't gonna have the money to do this, and Shannon went and got them tests that she admitted to, they plotted from that point on. They planned it. Now I believe that she might have lied about ZIYAH asking about those streets, and somebody in my chat brought that up. Maybe she lied. And maybe she just was trying to point the finger at the other girl. And at first I'm like, but then I thought about it, like, probably so. And so if that was a setup, I mean, if that was part of the setup, that really means that it was premeditated. They planned it. Oh, he getting charged with premeditated, right? because it was premeditated. So we can, yeah, it was premeditated, y'all. I forgot about that part. It was premeditated already because he was looking the stuff up back in December, or no, he was doing, yeah, I think it was November or December when he started doing this, but he knew since September. Look how irresponsible this dude is. He been knowing ever since September, telling her to get the test and all this, and you wait till December to start looking around for stuff. That's when they start plotting. Oh, I'm gonna say she asked about these 2 streets, and then you go borrow old Latrice's car, and then you just do everything in there, and then like, did they really plan it like this? Did they really? I mean, we gotta be able to put her in there somehow. I meant to speak earlier. Well, I'm happy you dropped down. I really appreciate that, because I'd be like, why is people in the bushes? But I understand sometimes I be listening in the bushes too. And not being rude, but hi to everyone in the chat. I'm running around cooking and doing housework. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, thank you for listening to me while you doing your housework. I am your music for the day. At least for the last couple hours. Yes. So but yeah, it's just so much with this case, y'all. We're gonna keep on talking about the facts, because the facts is the only thing that makes sense to me. If you allow the other stuff to get into your ears, yeah, we could take the facts and tweak it and try to figure out stuff with the facts, but just to pull something out the sky and I can't do that. It's chaotic, you know. So if you are like that, if you a real crime sleuth, number one, join Sleuth Nation. I got another channel. We the winning team, but we team viral under the same umbrella, right? So if any of that interests you, you a real crime sleuth, you enjoy my content, please make yourself known. I don't bite, I bite back. You know what I'm saying? I don't bite first. And y'all can always call in and all of that. So I need some more moderators. So I need some people to start really showing that you enjoy my content, so I can get some more moderators, because BFF can't do it all. And TBZ, she be in here. She can't do it all either. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Urban Gardening. Welcome in. Thank y'all for coming through. What year did the grandmother die? Let me scroll all the way. I know I'd have missed a lot of people, because I can't look at the chat all the time. That's why I also have Nightbot. He is my sniper bot at times, but he's dropping letting y'all know, like, if you want a quicker reply, you can drop a super chat, super sticker. I try to pay attention to that. They started at Frank's in 2018, so I think King knew Jarvis was up. Yeah, I read that. And yeah, that's the part that blew me away. I'm like, okay, they would go to jail, and King would go to jail, or whatever happened, and they'd get right back together, because they the same type of people. and I like what Jennifer said. She said, baby, when I tell you this lady is breaking down this live, I had to laugh. I mean, thank you. That is so funny. But this is my thing. This is my jam right here. I've been reporting crime since 2020, and the first case that I got really attached to was Sincere and Classic. That was their birth names, and they adopted them and changed their names to Orrin and Orson West, and moved them to a whole. They went from Bakersfield, California, to Cal City, California, and they do that because they don't want the family to know where they at. And they be up to something when they do stuff like that. Why you gotta leave the city? Why you gotta do all that just because you adopted a kid? Now it's a case that was recent. It was a white couple that adopted some black children, and they moved out of town on this all of this land, and had them in a damn barn or somewhere. Had them picking cotton and all kind of other stuff they had going on. So to me, it's suspect, and I think it was like 5 kids or something, 3 to 5 kids. They was all siblings. They kept them together, and allowed the youngest one to sleep in the house with them. I said, oh my God, that poor baby. What did they do? Pisses me off even thinking about it. How sick people are. You get kids just to do this. And when I say kid cases are the hardest for me, these the ones I be crying on, that be pissing me off. Man, like, it's sad that people actually look at kids as a payment. And we know dang on well that's what we looking at with this granny. And then look, old girl, you don't know nothing, but they sitting here with the same phone. Now one brighter than the other, only because it's somebody put a lot of filter in that. But ain't no love here. And this right here, if people would have just noticed that. Like, she got so much dang on food. She got a refrigerator here. She got one there. I heard it was 3. I don't know where the other one at. But then the boyfriend said she got a whole room full of stuff. And can't nobody eat nothing. She ain't gonna have no need for them chains now. Go to work. Using these kids like that. And you go, look how tiny she is. Look, and I was like, every time she get... See, the fact that Neziah helped solve her case with these videos. She did. Because she danced right here with these chains. Like I said, wasn't nothing tight at the ship. But them damn chains. Okay? That's it. And so she helped solve her case when she was dancing in front of that refrigerator. Because you knew damn well something was wrong. And then the fact that we were able to see her body before she was pregnant. And see the type of clothes she would wear before that. Went from crop tops to sweatshirts and jackets and coats and all this. But they didn't know. They knew. And they waited too late to do anything about it. Except for take her out. And they half the women they used to be. I don't know if they ever was. But I heard they got I thought that they just lost weight, but I heard it was some type of surgery that happened. I'm like, what? I just thought they lost weight. I don't know why I thought that. Well, I thought they were stressing to lose weight. So you see where Balfour and Outer Drive come together right there at the corner. Yeah, that's where they was at. Driving right down that street and picked her up, I believe. We got her looking different on every freaking picture that she take, but don't nobody know nothing. Don't nobody know nothing, see nothing, hear nothing. This dude going in and out the house. Did he have a key? We know they wasn't nowhere asleep. So, I just think, what type of sick game was they playing with Neziah? What type of sick game were they playing? Because we got her saying, oh, she's sneaky. She wants some D. She just like her. She watched her brother. She set her up. They set her up, and then they continued the narrative. They continued the narrative that it was another boy. Oh, she running off with some other boy. She fast. She sneaky. Why? How you know? What are you saying? So could they have let her think that she was slick? Could they have let her think that she was sneaking? And they just didn't know. I mean, they wanted to watch her to see how she behaved. Because I'm still trying to figure out why we don't have Shannon and Jarvis texting about these pregnancy tests. We got Jarvis telling her to go buy one. But never did she say that, Shannon got it for me and we got another one and all this. None of that stuff was text. So they knew when and when not to text. Old girl thinks she's so slick but so stupid and sound crazy too. Because, her answer about when did you talk to Jarvis, what was the conversation about her being missing? And the answer she gave didn't... Her reply didn't make sense at all.
Did you tell tell Jarvis thoughts about not being able to locate ZIYAH on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him. He didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, have he seen Tuda and your whereabouts? And I said no, Tuda, and he responded back. Oh, wow.
I didn't hear what you said. The last part.
Last part, I texted him. Well, at first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time, I sent him a message. Still no Tuda. He replied back, oh, wow.
Okay, thank you.
Did you tell?
If he didn't answer the phone, how did he know what the whole story about Tuda? She just said she called and he didn't answer, and then she texts and says still no Tuda. Oh, wow. What did you tell him, though? Like, that don't even make sense, but I guess it makes sense to her. Because she's a sweet tart. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and thank y'all for the 76 thumbs up. Chocolate said, and this is why I have been saying for a while, now I hope they are gathering information to charge the grandmother and Shannon as accessories. I believe it. I believe it. If them kids is out the house like they saying, that other investigation is opened up and they going down. Then we got Tamara Liberty Smith that started that CPS petition. I don't know where they are with that petition, but that petition, let me, since you said that, Chocolate, let me see if I can find, because I was looking at the screenshot right before I went live, and I wanted to remember exactly what it was that the petition said. So the petition is to protect our children, enforce stricter measures against known violators of CPS rules. Known violators of CPS rules. And so this is directly targeting Shannon and the grandmother, because they knew that this man, they know the rules of CPS, and they knew that this guy was a violator. They should have never had him around. So the issue is, we, the undersigned, call upon CPS to enforce stricter measures to prevent individuals who have violated the CPS rules regarding known POs, Chesters, from maintaining custody or contact with children. This right here was made to go after them. And so we got this in combination with Shannon telling Roxy that she bought the test and all that stuff. Like, come on. Like, that's a little bit more, because she lying under oath and just all of this stuff. So the purpose of this petition is, CPS rules regarding known people like him from maintaining custody or contact with children. This petition is dedicated to the memory of ZIYAH Harris, whose life was tragically taken because of a decision to allow a known Chester a second chance. Now, we got proof of that second chance, because those are the words that Shannon used. If they can give him a second chance, who am I not to? So, dear CPS, the safety and well-being of our children must be our utmost priority. Recent events have highlighted a critical gap in the enforcement of CPS rules, allowing children to remain in the environment where their safety is compromised by known violators of these rules. So ZIYAH Harris's tragic passing underscores the need for immediate action. Exactly. Her life was cut short because a known Chester was allowed to have contact with her despite existing CPS guidelines intended to prevent such scenarios. We believe that this tragedy could have been avoided with stricter enforcement and oversight. So we urge CPS to review, number one, to review and strengthen policies, reevaluate current policies related to the custody and care of the children who may have been exposed to a known Chester, ensuring that these policies are robust and comprehensive. Two, enhance monitoring and compliance, increase monitoring and enforcement efforts to ensure compliance with CPS rules, particularly in cases where a child's safety may be at risk. Three, implement mandatory reporting and accountability measures. Implement mandatory reporting. So yeah, because we know that Shannon lied and said that CPS, they investigated him, they did this, that, and the third. They asked for his info. Janelle still got the text messages and she was lying. She was playing both sides is what she was doing. Because they probably did contact her because he did get an interview and all of that stuff, but she knew that she also whooped her own child. And then three, implement mandatory reporting and accountability measures, establish mandatory reporting and accountability protocols for caregivers and guardians who knowingly place children in unsafe environments. And then four, provide better support and resources. Offer more support and resources for families and caregivers to make informed decisions that prioritize the safety of children. By signing this petition, we hope to bring about meaningful change that will protect children and prevent future tragedies. Let us work together to honor the memory of ZIYAH Harris by ensuring that every child has the safe and nurturing environment they deserve. Thank you for your attention to this urgent matter. Sincerely, Tamara Liberty Smith. And I think that is a good thing. I mean, it that should be a no-brainer. Like, I mean, okay, so CPS workers, school teachers, different people are mandatory reporters. Why should, if you getting a kid from CPS and they mandatory reporters, why wouldn't you be one? So it really should already be a rule that your job as a foster parent is to keep the children safe that you fostering, right? So that, man, come on. Like, I feel like CPS is legal child nappers. That's what's been happening around the world for a very long time. Welcome in, BDB. I have a question. Are we sure she is no longer with us? The only reason I ask is Butts is facing charges of first degree, premeditated, yep, second degree criminal contact, and child SA. Yeah, they are saying it. Yep, they're saying it. And so the prosecutor even said, what's her name? Kim Worthy. She said that we can prove without a shadow of a doubt that she is no longer with us. But then when they asked her, the things that she said just wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? It's for me, like, if this was my loved one, I would want solid proof, like a body or something saying that, oh, we checked the drains and we found tissue, something like that. So I don't know what they got, but that's what they're saying, that she is no longer with us. But the family is not feeling it. That's no real closure. But I remember hearing that they've checked, I heard Shannon Jones, the lead investigator, say that they issued over 20 warrants. I know that they checked these women houses and stuff. I'm assuming they checked all the houses. The house that he was at 9 o'clock, that house was a woman named Angel. He was there at 9 o'clock, and then at 9:30, they said he checked into 9:30 p.m. He checked into that hotel, the Park Crest Inn, and he checked out at, I think it said 12:21, because I got the receipt. Now it's a handwritten receipt. From my understanding, they do not have any footage. They just got his signature, and the address that he used that day to sign out was the same address that he uses, that saying that he lives there. Are we sure? Okay, yeah. So saying that he lives there or whatnot, and it's just crazy how he's able to get away with this with these women. So okay, so I'm looking at, I think it's Angel Leonard. So it sounds like he dealt with more than one angel too. He had more than one angel. Angel Leonard is the one. I believe this is somebody have wrote this out. I believe her and Jarvis has 2 children together. She is who Jarvis lived with on Wilshire. Her house was also where Jarvis stopped after leaving the shop the night of the 9th before picking up the car from Latresa. Yeah, now that is the house. That's why I was like, how was he at the shop and at her house at 9 o'clock? And that's where I said he his women all live by that shop. I mean, but okay, so King said they got back about 8:45 p.m. He also said that he got to the shop about 8:45 a.m. So I was like, wow, so a whole straight 12 hours, right? A whole perfect 12 hours. But he said that. And so I'm like, he said they got back there. They had to count the money. They went to the back, count the money, and separated the money. And he left. When he left, Naziah and Jarvis was still there. So, I mean, King must live right by the shop too. Because this only giving you, I mean, how long would that take you to count the money and split it? How much money did they have? $100? They just split 50 and left? I'm confused. So they did all that in 15 minutes, and Jarvis was at another woman's house that he lived with allegedly, and King was already at home. Boy, they make the best of their time, don't they? Boy, they make the best of their time. But yeah, so I think he got 2 angels, because this is an Angel Leonard, but it was another person that Shannon was arguing with on Facebook, and here's hers. She said, this B been playing on my phone ever since Thanksgiving. Now this message is January 27, 2021. And this ain't the same angel that I was just reading about. Funny is in January, but in 2021. So she said, this B been playing on my phone ever since Thanksgiving. I most definitely don't bring my business to Facebook, but this B gonna beat the F up. Here, her name is Angelita Spence. So Angel, but Angelita Spence, aka Hyena. I don't give no F who run to my children's father and tell him. So she was all arguing and fussing with other females about this loser, which make them all equally losers. Well, not the minor part or a disappearance. That part is monstrous. Man, not a minor part or a disappearance. It's crazy. It's baffling. But I just, man, it's hard to declare somebody unless you got like real evidence. Like I'm thinking about like Felicia Johnson, and it's been so many. They couldn't find her at first, but when they found this dude actually had pictures in his phone. But it's so many cases in my head, but I would want solid proof. I would. And it wouldn't feel real to me unless I did have solid proof. But then I go back to the message that Roxy had put out and was saying that she was unalive. I didn't want to face it at first, but she said the word just flat out. And I know a lot of people feel a lot of ways about her or whatever, but in the beginning, I seen it as they were doing a good thing, and I just didn't understand why it always got to go to who did what and all of this. I feel like everybody that got involved was instrumental. It would have been better if she would have been found and things would have happened prior to, but everybody involved did something. So what I'm looking at right now, I'm looking at my screenshots, but it was something that they had showed. Let me see. This is a laboratory report. This is coming from the state of police, the forensic science department. Hold on. But what's standing out to me, it reads a couple what I can see is evidence. So it's evidence on here, but one thing I can see says sealed paper bag, agency number, item number 85 containing the black hoodie. So this would have been when they got this evidence to the laboratory. So what the forensic science division laboratory report. This report is dated April 29th, 2024. And it didn't get completed until June 14th. So this is so many months after ZIYAH was already missing, that they got this stuff, this evidence and all this have been sitting out there, weathered and all kind of stuff. Or at least that's the report here. I'm not sure exactly when they found it. I would have to look. I forgot what the guy said. Time zone. Report created. And then the other shady part, y'all, when I've mentioned this already about the shady part, we finding out about them reporting that scuffle that she got into in November and waiting until the 11th and all the moving around they did, paternity tests on the 10th of January, or at least paperwork that said that, reporting her missing on the 10th when she went missing on the 9th, and then all of the throw off texts that they was having. And I keep saying that I was gonna put in the one that Marquita did, but just know that Marquita literally posted a post and said she is found. I mean, she been spotted and all that. She been spotted at liquor stores and gas stations. And then Mark DeAndre, when he had asked Shannon about is Jarvis married? Did he have another baby? Something about you gave him some money for taxes. He got married and got another girl pregnant. And all she said was he wasn't married. She didn't say nothing about him getting another girl pregnant. So April 24th, 2023, Shannon wrote on her page, "Keep my name out your mouth. You accepted that engagement ring. Accept all the BS and baggage that comes with him, Mrs. Butts." So that would have been what was Mark DeAndre's podcast was in February. This was in April. So it's just interesting when you go back and you can listen at the lies that we now know are lies. She should have been arrested for that. Yeah, just for all of the inconsistencies and lying on the stand. But I don't know if they could prove it at that point. I mean, it's like it's certain evidence that you need. I just got a problem believing that this woman is this dang on smart. You know a couple guys like that? Well, not the minor part. Oh, that's what you were saying. Okay. But there's plenty of dogs running the streets. The fact they will stoop for low-hanging fruit by going after man. The judge was on it when she said, you getting involved with these women just to do that. Shannon definitely should be arrested. All of them should. I feel like hopefully they find what they need. But these, everybody been tampered with. There should be a petition for the arrest of Shannon and Annette for neglect, which caused the somehow they should have petitions for that. But it looked like they going after CPS to make it a rule or something. But I mean, it gotta be already. That's already a rule. You can't be, you work at CPS, but you can get kids and not be a mandatory reporter. You're supposed to report all that. It seemed like once these kids are adopted and all that stuff, they don't even care to go. They don't even go back and check anything. I don't know if the other ones were adopted or not, or if they was just fostered. Whatever status they got to be in for you to keep getting a check. And then if they got any type of mental, any type of anything, ADHD, could be the simplest things. You get even more money for them kids. I think the West, they were saying they was getting like $3,000 a kid or $6,000 a kid. It was something wild like that, where people turn this stuff into a business. She said, I wish I was a prosecutor. Man, I hope they do the right thing. Like, it just seemed, have they been looking at all this stuff? They know. They investigating, man. I'm confident that they are. As soon as they clean, they doing it in order, though. They gonna get rid of him and then come back and swoop them up. They going down. They ain't getting away with this. I promise you, in the light of some of the facts that have come out, they know someone who is helping them avoid charges. It seemed like it. Because that's why I was like, how is everything lining up for them? How does everything line up perfectly? How is the school negligent? How didn't the teacher get questioned? Like when we heard old Wolf's testimony, I wanted to slap him through my computer. God dang. Like, dude, he couldn't have cared less. How did we get everybody to not give a damn about one little girl that just wanted to be loved? She even told this bastard that I just want you to love me. After he's sitting up here ignoring her. And then gonna say, yes, love, I'm working, love. Get your, oh my God. Sick. But dang, I ain't make it to my third live stream. I'm tired of talking now. We gonna have to reset that one. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's been great. Shout out to my sleuths in the building, because y'all definitely are. If y'all tuned in to me, y'all sleuthy just like me. Y'all join the team so I can get some more moderators. I need more moderators because BFF can't do it all. TBZ, I don't know where TBZ at right now, but she pops in early too. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. We gonna get up out of here. But yeah, as far as Shannon, her mammy, her pappy, whoever at fault, because I feel like it's some silent, unheard people that's somewhere helping. Lock all they ass up.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Lock his ass up. Lock. Nanny boo boo.
All right, that's it, y'all. We gonna get up out of here. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make this go viral. Woo. Yeah, I'll share the videos right now. of them there. I have them over there. Got fire next to it. Peace and love, y'all. We out.